from a steamy Lowell Park in Cotuit, Massachusetts. It's the Harbor Hawks and the Kettleers for the third time in 4 days. Last night, the Kettleers took one at McKeon Park going away by a final score of 15-5, but Hyannis looking to answer back here on the road. Last time these Hyannis Harbor Hawks paid a visit to Lowell Park here in Cotuit, it was a tightly contested battle. Cotuit wound up taking it by a score of 7-6, and they lead the Patriot Cup by a score of 5-0 series-wise. Brendan Howe alongside Lyle Goldstein bringing you all the action here today as Cotuit takes the field for the first time, just about set for action. But real quickly, Lyle, before we jump into the ball game tonight, what should we expect in a contest that throughout the season, Hyannis has played pretty well here?
Well, I'm going to tell you.
Now, we apologize for any technical difficulties, but on the hill today for the Cotuit Kettleers, the NC State product, Evan Justice. The Southpaw making his third start of the season, his sixth appearance overall. An 0-3 record, a 7.71 ERA for him. He'll be facing a Hyannis lineup tonight that looks like this. Jordan Westberg leads off and plays shortstop. Following him, Ian Fair, the first baseman. Trevor Hopper out in left. Hunter Goodman doing the cleanup duties in right. Jared DeSantolo, the DH. Jackson Olsen behind him at third. Chad McDaniel behind the plate doing the catching. And the final two in the order, Bryce Teodosio in center and Anthony Servideo at second base. So for Evan Justice, his third start, he's tossed 14 innings this season. Struck out 7 while walking 10 and surrendering 16 hits in the process. Last time Justice made an appearance was July the 16th at Orleans. He took the loss in the decision in that ball game. Went 2 innings, gave up a run on 1 hit, walked 2, and struck out 2. So a pretty good outing, and the Southpaw looking to shut down a Hyannis lineup that has played particularly well on the road here at Lowell Park this season. But last night, Hyannis put up 5 runs on the board, but the pitching staff, again, just falling short against the Kettleers offense that we know can get absolutely red hot as they were last night, putting up 15 runs at McKeon Park. Hyannis coming in looking for their 7th win of the season. They're on a 6-game skid. Jordan Westberg climbing up to the plate. 6-25-1, the record for the visiting Harbor Hawks, the 33rd contest of the summer. For Cotuit, their 34th game, 17-13-3, and with the win last night, they were the first team to clinch a spot in the postseason. So Westberg just about set to dig in, a .364 average, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs on the summer. Justice is set into his windup first pitch. Fastball outside. We're underway. First pitch at 5:06 p.m. Eastern Time. It is a steamy one from Lowell Park. Temperatures have been rising all afternoon. Sun still out and shining here from Cotuit. Count 1-0 to Westberg. Justice into his motion. Fires up high. 2-0. Bit of a muggy day. Hyannis sporting their road blue jerseys, orange lettering, white trim, blue pinstripes on the pants. Westberg ready for a 2-0. Fastball way inside, gets off the glove of the catcher, pacing all the way to the backstop. And Westberg quickly works himself ahead early 3-0 on the first 3 pitches of the ballgame. Westberg, the Mississippi State Bulldog, trying to jumpstart something for Hyannis early on. 3-0 pitch. Fastball, get me over, good for a strike to run the count to 3-1. For Cotuit today, pinstripes on the pants, the maroon coloring, and not in actual jerseys. Sporting the warm-up shirts with the numbers and names on the back, so still technically qualifies as jerseys as a 3-1. In from Justice, outside, and he loses Westberg. First batter of the game draws a free pass. That'll bring up Ian Fair with the runner aboard.
Well, Westberg's certainly a guy that can draw his fair share of walks, and draws one right there. And for Hyannis, again, I think this game's going to be a lot of high-scoring offense. We've seen both teams put runs up on the board pretty easily this season, or at least when they're facing each other. And at Cotuit, it's been a couple of close ones thus far.
So Justice working out of the stretch, kicks and fires over to first, in standing up Westberg. Well, Hyannis on the road this season, 2-13-1 the record. But they played some pretty tight games away from home at McKeon Park, especially here in Lowell at Cotuit. Ian Fair into the box, still awaiting the first pitch from Justice as he stares over toward Westberg. Now he comes home. Breaking ball. Catches the top of the zone. Count 0-1.
Well, that's what I was going to get to, Brendan, is, the 3 games that have been played at McKeon Park have been pretty lopsided in Cotuit's favor. The 2 games here at Lowell, however, have been neck and neck. In fact, each of them were 1-run wins for the Kettleers.
Justice set, 0-1, comes home. Fastball, knee level, called strike 2. Fair quickly down on the count. And for Ian, trying to continue an 8-game hitting streak that he carries into this afternoon. Went 1 for 5 yesterday with an RBI to extend it. And it's forcing Justice to work early, 0-2 before that. A quick check on Westberg at first base. He's back standing up. So again for Hyannis, losers of 6 straight. They've lost all 5 to Cotuit this season. But if trends show us anything, that Hyannis will play Cotuit tough here today as Fair swings at the 0-2 pitch and sends it in the air to deep right center. Moving back on it, the center fielder Williams. He's there. He'll make the grab. So Fair sit down for out number 1. He gave that one a ride to deep center. No problem for Dante Williams to range back into his left as he made the grab above his cap. I'll bring up Trevor Hopper. Now before Trevor steps in, quick look at the Cotuit defense. Left to right in the outfield, Parker Chambers, Dante Williams, and Loper Fido and right. Around the infield, Matthew Mervis, Adam Oviedo, Nick Gonzalez, and Mason McWhorter, with Cody Pasek behind the dish doing the catching for the starter Evan Justice on the bump. Other side arm toss to first as Westberg just took a step back to the bag. Last time Hyannis was here at Lowell Park, a game shortened due to darkness. Again, Lowell Park, one of the 3 without lights on Cape Cod. Lefty-lefty matchup set to ensue with 1 down in the inning. First pitch, breaking ball, in for a strike, 0-1. It's been a little bit of inconsistency for Trevor with the bat this summer. The Arizona State Sun Devil put up a big year at school. And last night, put up a good day at the plate, 2 for 3. Came around to score 2 of the 5 runs. 0-1. Breaking ball down and away, but a called strike, picking up the outside black. 0-2 the count. Final game of the season between these 2 division rivals. Cotuit has already clinched the Patriot Cup, the annual series between the 2 squads every year. Justice in search of his first strikeout here against Hopper. 0-2 offering. Breaking ball in the dirt. Couldn't entice him to go after it. A ball and 2 strikes to the left-handed hitting Sun Devil. Trevor, a .239 hitter, 1 home run, 11 RBIs. Pretty much a staple in left field every single night for manager Chad Gassman. Justice is 1-2. Fastball upstairs, count evens. Once the Hyannis offense left 6 runners on base yesterday. Scored just 14 runs over the last 3 contests, and 2 of those losses have come by 1 run. One of those being here at Lowell Park against Cotuit a couple days ago. Justice stares over at Westberg at first, now fires a 2-2. Hopper swings and sends that one on a line into left field. It's going to roll down the line. Westberg will go up to second base. And Trevor Hopper reaches for the first time in his first plate appearance. He's got himself a single. That sets the table for Hunter Goodman.
And started to see that a little bit last night from Hopper, too. I mean, he had a couple balls the other way. One of his hits went the other way. And just starting to kind of take what he's got a little bit. Getting a lot of off-speed stuff and fastballs away, but instead of trying to pull it, he's just going the other way with it, resulting in some base hits.
Trevor not trying to do too much there. Picks up a base hit to left field. A runner in score position now for Hunter Goodman. Goodman now tied for first in RBI atop the Cape League with 27. That's from the right side. A spin and the throw back to second base. Westberg just a couple steps off the bag. Easy toss to Gonzalez to try and keep him close. That's a trend that we've seen a lot from these Kettleer pitchers, especially when Hyannis has been here. They like to check on runners as soon as they advance a bag, just to make sure they don't get too comfortable on the base paths. Goodman awaits the first offering. It's a fastball in on the bottom of the zone at the knees for a strike, 0-1.
Yeah, I mean, hard for anybody to throw more pickoffs than Reed Johnston did the other night. I mean, it was every single time a runner reached base. We'll see if Justice does it that much. It'll probably be a little bit less than that. Sure keeping a runner on base.
Reed Johnston was good for 2 or 3 in at bat. As an 0-1, Goodman swings, towers a shot into center field, sending Williams back toward the wall. It's over his head. Coming around third and being waved in home is Jordan Westberg. Trevor Hopper up to third, and Hunter Goodman puts himself back in first on the Cape in RBIs. He picks up number 28, and it puts Hyannis on the board. It's 1-0.
Now, right there, Hunter Goodman says, "Hey, Nick Gonzalez, I want my title back." Just shoots one into center field well over the head of Williams. He absolutely pieced that one up from Justice to the deepest part of the park. And for the second time in as many days, he's got a first-inning RBI double.
So Jared DeSantalo set to step in. Jared at one time this season was atop the leaderboard in the batting average category, but has fallen off a bit, but still having himself a very, very nice summer. 313 coming in, doing the DH duties tonight for Chad Gassman. 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. Got a chance for 6 and 7 on it right here on the base paths if he can find some outfield grass. Hyannis once again striking early here at Lowell Park against the left-hander Evan Justice. First pitch, breaking ball down and away. Basic off to his left to get it out of the crouch. Can't want to know. So for Hyannis, it's been a bit of a struggle this season. Record 6-25-1, but they've been competitive in a handful of games. It's just slipped away from them late down the stretch. We'll see if they can hold on today, if they can mount a lead against the Kettleers. Fastball up high, count 2 balls, no strikes to DeSantolo. And they've been very competitive on the road. It seems like, Lyle, they almost play better away from home.
Yeah, and they certainly were hitting better on the road. There's no question about that, at least for a lot of the season. And here in the first inning, no exception at Lowell.
Justice 2-0 offering to Jared. Breaking ball downstairs. 3 balls and no strikes. Second batter of the frame. He's fallen behind by a count of 3-0. First one was to Westberg to start the ball game. Jared working himself in a position to draw a walk, and that would load the bases for Jackson Olsen, who awaits on deck. Justice set, 3-0 pitch. Breaking ball high and tight, but a called strike. Spun DeSantolo back out of the box as he adjusts the gloves. Good hitter's count for Jared. FAU Owl has been known to put bats to baseballs all season long. 2 on, 1 down for Hyannis. Top half of the first inning just underway from Lowell Park. Southpaw set, comes home. Pitch just outside, but a called strike to fill the count, 3-2. Now, Justice, not a guy that strikes out a ton of batters. Just 7 on his summer so far in 5 appearances. Love to pick one up here against Jared DeSantolo. Justice set at the chest, 3-2 offering. Breaking ball downstairs, and that'll fill him up. Second walk of the inning surrendered by Justice. So DeSantolo aboard via a free pass. And now it'll be Jackson Olsen stepping in. Time is called as Cody Pasek on his way out to the mound. But Lyle, once again, Hyannis off to a good start here at Lowell Park offensively.
Yep, they're really not wasting any time early on either. Mike Roberts is already going to come out to the mound to have a word with Justice. Guy who struggled at times this summer, especially out of a starting role. And Hyannis just jumping all over him here in the top of the first. 1 run so far, threatening with the bases loaded.
So Cotuit manager Mike Roberts on his way out to the hill with the rest of the infield, as well as Pasek, who was joined in on the meeting. Jackson Olsen taking some practice cuts outside the left-handed batter's box. Jackson picked up a base knock last night in a 1-for-4 effort. Hyannis in the ball game last night. One they're going to want to flush. A 15-5 defeat at the hands of these Kettleers. Again, with that win, Cotuit locking up a playoff spot. They are postseason bound here on Cape Cod in 2019. And a very, very nice season. 17-13-3, the record coming in. Matter of fact, I could enough to, for now, lead the top of the Western Division with Falmouth and Wareham falling off a bit. Those two are tied for second place. Of course, the Bourne Braves 13 points ahead of Hyannis, who sits in last. So it's runners at every base. Trevor Hopper at third, Hunter Goodman at second with the RBI double earlier on in the inning. And Jared DeSantolo at first with Jackson Olsen taking his place in the box. Meeting concludes, Evan Justice back to the hill. Jackson Olsen has been swinging a much better bat as of late, finding himself in the lineup a majority of the last couple of nights. First pitch from Justice, breaking ball inside, a called strike. Jackson's picked up the average to 246. Featured at third base and shortstop at times this season. At third base tonight, 0-1 offering from Justice, down in the dirt. Olsen thought about going after it. Nice block from Pasek behind the plate to keep Jordan Westberg down at third. Or rather, Trevor Hopper at third. Hyannis trying to give starter Glenn Albanese from Louisville a cushion to sit on. Already up 1-0. They put 2 hits on the board, 2 free passes as well. 0-2 to Jackson. Chopper right side. That'll get foul into the Hyannis dugout. Jackson trying to hang tight with 2 strikes. Chad McDaniel, the catcher, awaits on deck. Justice set a breath, now fires home in 0-2 outside. Pasek out of the crouch as he scampers down the third baseline a bit. And for Jackson, he's had a hit in each of his last 2 appearances, both of them coming against the Kettleers. The third time in 4 days these two teams have squared off. Kettleers now pulling the infield in. Everybody on the lip of the grass. To prevent Hyannis getting on the board any further. Pitch up high, check, swing, foul. Ball and 2 strikes to Jackson. Picked up 2 hits July the 17th, the last time Hyannis came to Lowell Park, and then 1 hit last night. Trying to continue his hot streak against Cotuit, but he doesn't do it here. Swing and a miss, strike 3 on an off-speed pitch on the outside corner. Jackson waves and misses. He's out number 2. I'll bring up Chad McDaniel with the bases still loaded. Now Evan Justice picking up his 8th strikeout of the summer. A guy that's known to pitch to contact. Giving up 16 hits in his 14 innings so far, working into his 15th now. He'll have to set down Chad McDaniel to get through it. First pitch, fastball, McDaniel swings at it, sends it down the third baseline, foul. Flanking off the chain link fence beyond the Cotuit dugout down in left field. Now, besides the temperature, an absolutely gorgeous day for baseball here from Lowell Park. Sun is out and shining, a slight breeze blowing across the yard. 0-1. Fastball way up high at the letters. McDaniel watches it go by, bends back a little bit. Count a ball and a strike. Chad McDaniel back in the lineup after receiving a night off last night. Platooning with Adam Hackenberg. Breaking ball, checked his swing down to first, no appeal, or no go rather. 2 balls and a strike. McDaniel carries a .237 average into play today. Been platooning with the Clemson Tiger Adam Hackenberg behind the plate for the majority of the season. Justice set a 2-1. Fastball trying to paint the outside corner, couldn't pick up the call. 3 balls and a strike. And Justice has got nowhere to put McDaniel. He's got to come home with a good one here. 3-1 the count with 2 down. Runner at every base for Hyannis, threatening early here in the top of the first. 3-1 pitch. Fastball up high, and he walks in a run. Chad McDaniel picks up his 6th RBI courtesy of a walk, the 3rd free pass surrendered by Justice in the inning. As Trevor Hopper trots home to cross the plate and make it 2-0 Hyannis.
We saw a lot of free passes last night, resulting in some runs for Cotuit, specifically in the top of the 9th inning. And Hyannis gets one back there. McDaniel works a good count. Checked his swing a couple times and held up, and ultimately brings in Hover without having to move the bat too much.
So now it's Clemson Tiger Bryce Teodosio taking his spot in the right-handed box. First pitch he sees from Justice. Fastball up high, 1-0. Justice having his troubles with the location a bit here in the first inning. He had walked 10 coming into this outing. Now uptick that to 13. Mike Roberts looking on from the third base dugout. He's already visited Justice once in the inning. 1-0. Breaking ball outside, but a called strike. Teodosio steps out, gives a quick shake of the head. Hunter Goodman now resides at third. Jared DeSangelo out at second. Chad McDaniel over at first. Goodman, as well as McDaniel, have picked up a pair of RBIs in the frame. 1-1 from Justice. Teodosio check swing, peeled down to first. He went around. Bryce couldn't pull the bat head back in time. Teodosio was subbed in as a defensive replacement last night. He went 2 for 2. Came around to score a couple of times. Average has been raised up above the Mendoza line at 204. And for Bryce this season, it's been a bit of a struggle with the bat, but we already know what his defense is like. Starting to rev the engine a little bit late in the summer as he sends a 1-2 pitch, chopper left side, foul past the Kettleer dugout. Bryce trying to hang tough. He's got an opportunity for RBIs number 4 and 5. Down at Chad McDaniel gets a clap of encouragement and now takes his place back in the box with Justice staring down at his catcher Pasek for a sign. Left-hander's got one, a 1-2. Chopper down the third baseline to the third baseman Mervis. He'll just tag the bag himself and will flip the ball back to the mound as the inning concludes. And Teodosio bounces into a 5 unassisted fielder's choice, but Hyannis strikes for 2 in the frame. They lead it early here from Lowell Park by a score of 2-0. Glenn Albanese will take the mound for the Hyannis when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Hard-throwing Louisville right-hander Glenn Albanese takes them out for Hyannis in the bottom of the first inning. He's set to face a Kettleer lineup that looks like this. Nick Gonzalez leads off and plays second base. Matt Mervis following him at third. Mason McWhorter behind him at first. Parker Chambers in the cleanup spot in left. Aubrey Major the DH. Joey Loperfido in right. Cody Pasek behind the dish. Dante Williams the center fielder. And Adam Oviedo rounds out the nine at shortstop. Glenn making his fifth appearance, third start on the summer for Hyannis as Gonzalez grounds the first pitch back up towards Cervidio at second. Off balance throw to first in time. And Nick Gonzalez sees one pitch from Glenn Albanese and he bounces out to second. 4-3 ground out to start the Cotuit night offensively. And that'll bring up Matt Mervis.
Well, anytime you can retire Nick Gonzalez, put that one in your back pocket. Albanese kept the ball down in the zone, got Gonzalez to just kind of roll over it. Cervidio, a nice play on the backhand on the other end as well.
We'll get to Nick Gonzalez in a second, but this is Matt Mervis stepping in from the left side. First pitch from Albanese, a fastball just inside. Count 1-0. But Nick Gonzalez, you'd have to think, tops the list as of right now in the MVP race. He is unbelievable. Picking up another home run last night, his 7th of the season. 1-0 to Mervis. Fastball chopper right side, a number up the line, but foul. Not even a ball and a strike, but Nick Gonzalez, a .357 hitter, 7 home runs, 27 RBIs. And that was tied with Hunter Goodman before he picked up his 28th in the top of the first inning. But my goodness, Mexico State products really, really doing it all for Cotuit this summer. Albanese into his windup, 1-1 offering to Mervis. Fastball high and tight, picks up the inside corner. It's 1-2. Top 3 guys in this Kettleer lineup tonight, all batting above 300. Mervis comes in at .317. 1-2 pop up left side into foul ground. McDaniel gives it a look back, but he'll watch it travel over the grandstands out of play. The count still holds to the ball and 2 strikes. 1 quick out for Albanese in this outing. And Nick Gonzalez to roll over one, trying to get Mervis to do the same here with a 2-strike count. Glenn's last outing came July the 13th against the Chatham Anglers. 1-2, fastball, swing and a miss, strike 3. Albanese notches strikeout number 1 of his outing. He fans Matt Mervis. A quick 2 up, 2 down, and now Mason McWhorter will step in. Well, Albanese looking very sharp early on. Picks up his 13th strikeout of the summer. McWhorter will try and extend this bottom half of the first inning. Hyannis in front 2-0. Albanese into the wide first pitch. Fastball cut and a miss. McWhorter went out of the zone to try and go get it. Came up empty. Now 0-1. In that last outing for Albanese, last time we saw him on the 13th of July, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 3 runs on 5 hits. 0-1. Fastball, McWhorter goes after it, sent it in the air to deep left center. Chasing Teodosio back a few steps, and now he comes in and he'll make the grab on the move. And that ends a very quick bottom half of the first inning. Glenn Albanese cruising through the first 3 in the Cotuit lineup. Still 2-0 Harbor Hawks. We'll go to the second on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Hyannis sends 9-1-2 to the plate in the top of the second inning. On top of this ball game, 2-0 from Lowell Park. Anthony Servideo, Jordan Westberg, and Ian Fair set to go. You'll miss Rebel Servideo into the left-handed batter's box to start off the second inning against Evan Justice. Hyannis struck for 2 early here on the road at Lowell Park. First pitch to Servideo, way up high. Breaking ball, not much tail to it. Not up above the head of Servideo to start the inning. Count 1-0. Hyannis sent 8 men to the plate in the first inning against Justice. 3 walks as well for the Southpaws. That fastball misses low and away, 2-0 to Anthony. Servideo hitting 152 entering action tonight. Trying to pick it up out of the number 9 spot and start a rally here for Hyannis in the second. That one from Justice to get me over pitch to bring him back in the count to 2-1. Justice, top of the mound, 2-1 pitch. Servideo taps it foul right side off the fencing down by the Hyannis dugout. Count levels 2 balls and 2 strikes. Last game for these 2 squads before the All-Star game will take place tomorrow at Eldridge Park out of New Orleans. 2-2 from Justice. Downstairs, count fills up to Servideo 3-2. From Lyle, I don't know about you, but I'm very excited for the festivities that'll take place tomorrow in Orleans. Of course, we have Hunter Goodman in the Home Run Derby. 3 Harbor Hawks will take place in the All-Star game for the Western Division tomorrow night. Payoff offering from Justice on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The video went after a fastball down in the zone, came up empty. Second strikeout of Justice this evening. Now back to the top of the order for Jordan Westberg.
Well, it should be some fun tomorrow night, no question. I mean, Hunter Goodman in the Home Run Derby, that'll be a lot of fun in itself. But to see all 3 of those guys get to perform at what'll be the highest level you can get in the Cape League. Madison will probably get an inning as there's 9 pitchers in the game for the West.
Westberg wanted the first pitch breaking ball in the dirt, checked his swing, but he went around. Down 0-1. Justice planted one in the dirt in front of home plate. Westberg couldn't hold up. But the thing I'm probably most excited for is sitting on the hill. I've never gotten to experience that yet. Each time we've been to Orleans this season, that hill has been absolutely packed, and it'll only be filled up tomorrow even more so. Off-speed delivery outside. Count evens a ball and a strike to Westberg.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what the hill's going to look like tomorrow. It's probably going to be at least 2,000 people.
1-1 to Westberg. Swung on, popped up on the infield. Third baseman Mervis ranging in toward the mound. Coming in from first base now, McWhorter. He'll make the grab. Westberg just got under one out on the outer edge of the plate. Pops it up to McWhorter at first. He makes the grab. 2 down for Ian Fair. But a couple thousand at least you should expect tomorrow in Orleans. Limited bleacher space, too, at Eldridge Park, so it'll be interesting. Fair stepping in 0 for 1 on his evening. First pitch from Justice, fastball inside, a called strike.
Yeah, that's one of the pretty cool things about Eldridge Park. It's like you said, there's not a whole ton of bleacher seats. Cotuit sure has a lot more, but that gives the fans the chance to sit on the hill and really experience it.
0-1. Fair swung on, blooped into left field, falling fast, a base hit. So Ian Fair extends the hitting streak to 9 games. Notches it in the second inning, taking care of it early. They'll bring up Trevor Hopper with 2 down and a man aboard. Ian Fair, my goodness.
I mean, he's quietly, over the last handful of games, been the hottest bat in this lineup. I mean, sure, his average sits at the top of the team. Of course, his at-bats are limited, so some people might take that with a grain of salt. But look at what he's done over these last few games. He's had a couple of different multi-hit games. Obviously, the 9-game streak. He's just hitting the ball really well.
Justice courtesy toss back to first, keeping an eye on Fair. Not known to steal bags, but keeping the trend alive for these Cotuit arms. Checking on runners each and every time they take a base. Field playing normal depth with the exception of Mervis, shaded a bit toward the second base bag, playing Hopper to pull. Pitch in the dirt. No advance for Ian Fair over at first. Count 1-0. But back to the All-Star game in Orleans for just a second. That's what makes that ballpark so unique in that aspect is the hill. There are no bleachers, so you do have to supply your own seating. Justice sent the chest 1-0 offering to Hopper. Upstairs at the letters 2-0. I'm very excited to experience it. I think it's going to be an absolute spectacle tomorrow. A lot of power will be on display around 5 o'clock with the Home Run Derby kicking off, and of course the All-Star game taking place just after that. 2-0 pitch to Hopper. Breaking ball down and away. Count moves to 3-0. Justice has fallen behind his fair share of hitters tonight. Third member of the Hyannis lineup he's gone to 3-0 with, this time with 2 down. Sun Devil set in the box, 3-0 offering. Fastball catches the top of the zone and calls strike 3-1. Trevor's already 1 for 1 on his evening so far. A single came around to score in the first inning. 1 of 2 runs that Hyannis put up in that frame. 3-1 offering. However, swings, cracks it down the left field line. Ranging back on it, Chambers toward the foul pole, and he'll make the grab on the run. Parker Chambers sets down Trevor Hauber at foul ground, and that retires Hyannis in the top of the second. Harbor Hawks 2, Kettleers nothing. Bottom of the second coming up here from Lowell Park on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Kettleers set to bring the middle third of their order to the dish in the bottom of the second inning. Parker Chambers, Aubrey Major, and Joey Loper-Fido due up against the Louisville right-hander Glenn Albanese, who worked a perfect 1-2-3 first inning. Retired 3 tough hitters. Parker Chambers steps in from the left side, takes a fastball in the count 1-0. But for Parker Chambers this season, he has been racking up the hits off the Harbor Hawks. Albanese is set for a 1-0. Chambers swings and sends this one into center field, falling fast in front of Teodosio. It's down for a base hit. Chambers around first. He's thinking 2 as Teodosio loses it in center. He's thinking 3, turning the Jets on toward third as the throw comes back into Servideo, and he'll get there standing. Parker Chambers, my goodness, starting off the second inning with a bang. He stands at third base and 90 feet from cutting the Harbor Hawk lead in half. That'll bring up Aubrey Major in an RBI spot right off the bat for the Kettleers.
And Chambers just been a Harbor Hawk killer all summer. That one, you could hear it off the bat, was an absolute rocket out to center field. Teodosio got caught a little bit in between of whether he wanted to try to make the dive or let it play on a hop. As a result, it kind of bounces off that right knee and skips toward the wall.
A tall, lanky left-handed hitting Aubrey Major steps in, swings at the first pitch and sends it down the left field line out of play. But Parker Chambers this season, you talk about the damage he's done to these Harbor Hawks. Hit .333 coming into the game tonight against Hyannis. 3 home runs, 9 RBIs, 15 total bases. He has worked his way around the base paths time and time again against Hyannis as no one misses up high to Major. Count a ball and a strike. Aubrey Major in his own right has put together a nice season. A .418 average, no home runs, 9 RBIs. With a smaller sample size than some of the other bats in this Cotuit lineup. 1-1. Major swings and behind it, Albanese fastball again as he pops it up out of play left side. That'll get back toward the concession stands. 1-2. The middle third of this Cotuit order looking to put up some damage on Albanese and get back in this ball game. And struck for the lead first. They lead it 2-0. The Kettleers bats have been ever so relentless versus Hyannis this season. 2-strike pitch, swing and a miss. Albanese fired it an off-speed delivery down and in as Major goes over the top of it. Second strikeout of the night for Glenn. That'll bring up Joey Loper-Fido. 1 on and 1 down.
He flashed a good breaking ball right there. It got Major fooled. He fouled off a couple pitches with a little bit behind it early in the at-bat. And Albanese just changes speeds on him, drops in the hammer, and it gets Major swinging.
Cotuit right fielder Joey Loperfino stepping in. Another left-handed bat. 3 straight to start off the second inning. Off-speed delivery in for a strike. 82 miles an hour on the gun according to the scoreboard here at Lowell Park. Down 0-1. Loperfino, a guy that would like to jumpstart his summer a little bit down the stretch. 240 average. 0-1. Breaking ball on the ground right side. Servideo down to a knee to get it. Soft throw to first in time to fair. And there's 2 down, but the run comes in to score. Loperfino picks up an RBI as Parker Chambers trots home. Productive out, and that cuts the Hyannis lead to 2-1.
And Loperfino had 3 RBIs last night. Didn't need to do a whole lot with the infield playing back, but he executes with a ground ball to the right side and easily scored the runner Chambers from third.
So now it'll be Cody Pasek with the bases empty and 2 outs, trying to extend the Kettleers half of the inning. Albanese back into the windup. First pitch, a fastball. Good for a strike at the top of the zone. Albanese, a very small sample size in his sophomore year at Louisville, just 9 2/3. We've touched upon that a few times throughout the summer. Been pretty effective in a Hyannis uniform as Pasek taps one foul straight back, slightly off to the left. Now no balls and 2 strikes. Glenn gave up 15 hits in those 9 2/3 innings of work with the Cardinals. 10 runs, only 4 of them earned. Walked 3, struck out 10. Trying to fan Pasek on a 0-2 delivery. Fastball down and away, just off the outer edge. Count 1-2 is Pasek with a good eye to stay alive. Pasek was not in the lineup last night at McKeon Park. Getting the nod here tonight for Mike Williams. 1-2. Just inside. Count levels 2 balls, 2 strikes. My apologies, Mike Roberts is the manager for these Kettleers. Deuce is wild here for Pasek. Dante Williams waiting on deck, hoping for a chance in the second inning. 2-2. Fastball upstairs. Couldn't get Pasek to go up out of the zone after it. Count swells full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Pasek putting up a tough fight with nobody aboard here. Albanese nods in assurance with McDaniel. Comes home on a payoff offering. Tap or foul at the dish. And for a Hyannis pitching staff that has really struggled. Played these Kettleers well on the road in their couple of appearances here at Lowell Park. Kettleers have stormed back late. Time is called. Pasek will step back out of the box. Yeah, still 3-2. Albanese has been ready to go. Next payoff offering, here it comes. Fastball, strike 3 call. Got him looking at the letters with a fastball. Albanese picks up his 3rd strikeout, this one to end things here in the bottom of the second inning. 2 in the frame, but Cotuit strikes back to cut the lead in half. It's Harbor Hawks 2, Kettleers 1. We'll go to the 3rd here from Lowell Park on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Hunter Goodman, Jared DeSantolo, Jackson Olsen coming to the plate for Hyannis in the top of the third inning. Evan Justice, the left-hander out of North Carolina State, back on the mound. This will be inning number 3 of his night. Lefty working from the windup. Roxon deals the first pitch. Goodman takes it on the outside corner, 0-1. Goodman picked up his league-leading 28th RBI back in the top of the first inning. Wiggles the bat above his shoulder. Justice ready the 0-1. That's a breaking ball that'll miss away. RBI double to straightaway center. Chased Arizona Wildcat Dante Williams all the way back to the fence. And it brought home a runner from second base. It was Jordan Westberg. 1-1. Fly ball, lifted, straightaway right field. Playable for the right fielder Loperfido. Coast to his left and he makes the grab. So Goodman retired on the F9. This will bring up Jared DeSantolo with 1 down. But Goodman and Nick Gonzalez tied at 27 runs batted in entering today's play. So they'll be battling it out for the runs batted in title throughout the ballgame. Right now, Goodman with the slight edge. He's had the lead for the last couple weeks or so. Sitting at 26 RBIs for what felt like a while as Jared DeSantolo takes 1 down. Then Nick Gonzalez really started to get hot. Look at last night. He 2-run home run. Also an RBI fielder's choice, so he picked up an additional 3 as time's called. Home plate umpire Kyle Fectus went out to give a new baseball to the left-hander Justice. DeSantelo's got a 1-0 count with 1 down. Infield playing the shift on him. Third baseman Mervis in on the lip of the infield grass. Pitch. Fastball. Catches the zone. It's 1-1. That one comes in at 90 miles an hour from the lefty Justice. But for Goodman, once again, sat at 26 for a while. RBIs in back-to-back nights. The 1-1 comes into DeSantolo. Breaking ball low and away. And as a result from 2 first-inning RBI doubles, one at McKeon Park yesterday, one here at Lowell Park today, he's up at 28. And he's retaken the lead by himself in the Cape Cod League. DeSantolo, meanwhile, sitting at 313 entering the ballgame. Swings away, rips one into right field. Coming in, the right fielder, Loperfido. He makes the grab at the letter high level. So DeSantolo hit an absolute rocket on the screws out to right field, but Loperfido was right in the tracks of it.
And DeSantolo squared that one up just about as much as he could, but unfortunately for him, Loperfido going a couple steps in from his normal position, no problem to trot in and squeeze it on a line.
Now Olsen, the hitter. Left-handed bat, takes a breaking ball at the letters for a called strike. 2-1 Cotuit, or 2-1 Hyannis the score in the top of the third inning. Cotuit got one back in the bottom of the second. Now the 0-1. Breaking ball, lifted straight away center field. Williams chasing back, moving to his left. He settles under it, and he squeezes it for the final out. So Evan Justice works a very economical 1-2-3 inning in the top of the third. Keeps the pitch count down for the frame, and keeps the score at 2-1. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. It's Hyannis 2, Cotuit 1. We'll go to the bottom of the third when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Dante Williams, Adam Oviedo, and Nick Gonzalez. The 8-9-1 in the Cotuit lineup coming to the plate to begin the bottom of the third. Williams, the left-handed hitting Arizona Wildcat, draws something with the knob of his bat outside the left-handed box. He digs his way in against right-hander Glenn Albanese. Williams making his first trip to the plate today. Comes in hitting 196. Albanese rocks and fires. Big swing and a miss. Almost comes out of his shoes. 0-1. But Williams with 2 home runs on the season. 3 runs batted in. And he hasn't seen a whole lot of playing time as the season's progressed. A lot of these Cotuit bats have really been swinging it and swinging it well, specifically some of the outfielders. Albanese ready, 0-1. Swung on, lifted down the right field line fairly deep. Goodman chasing over to his right, coming toward the line, and it drops just foul. But no balls, 2 strikes. Williams lifted it about a mile high into the air down the right field line. Goodman gave a healthy effort. Couldn't quite get there in time. Count sits at no balls, 2 strikes. So again, some of these Cotuit outfielders have really been swinging it well. Look at last night. Cam Hill was in the outfield, of course. Cam Hill's had his up and down go of it this summer. Last night, not the most success, but along with some of these guys swinging it so well, Mike Roberts has a lot of guys to work in. 0-2. Swing and a pop-up left side into foul ground. Olsen back to his right, and he pedals back to make the catch. So 1 away to begin the bottom of the third inning. Williams pops out to the third baseman, Jackson Olsen. He'll bring up shortstop Adam Oviedo. That's a little bit of a trend that's gone on with Hyannis, too, is a guy like Bryce Teodosio, who's been in and out of the lineup this summer. A guy who's such a plus defender, has power, but has had to share time with a lot of other outfielders as Albanese fires to Oviedo, breaking ball away. So a lot of outfielders for Hyannis. Guys like Hoover, who plays every day in left. Goodman seeing a lot more time in right. Now guys like Rigsby Mosley, Bryce, Brady Jordan, all having to share time. 1-0. Fastball spiked in the dirt and away. 2 balls, no strikes. Mitch McIntyre, another guy you can throw in there. Been a lot of the same story for some of these guys for Cotuit. Guys like Williams, guys like Cam Hill, Parker Chavers, who plays a fairly good amount. A lot of guys you got to work into 3 spots. 2-0, grounded foul left side. 2 balls, 1 strike the count. And guys like Christian Robinson as well from Stanford. Or rather, Christian Robinson, a guy who's seen some time. Albanese ready, the 2-1 with 1 down. Swung on and check swung, tap foul to the right side.
And that just kind of shows you the level of talent that there is on Cape Cod, is that there are so many guys. You only have 9 spots to put them all into on a nightly basis. It's a good problem to have, but definitely a ton of talent here on Cape Cod this summer.
Oviedo a 2-2 count with 1 down. Hyannis leading 2-1. Pitch on the outside corner, strike 3 called. Glenn Albanese makes it strikeout number 3 of the evening. And he's got 2 down with nobody on in the bottom of the third inning. Or rather, that's the 4th strikeout for Albanese. He had 3 entering the inning. And that strikeout to Oviedo makes it 2 pairs. So he struck out Mervis, struck out Aubrey Major, struck out Pasek, and now Oviedo. First pitch to Nick Gonzalez, fastball, and it just skims the jersey. Gonzalez will be awarded first base. Albanese kind of dangling his head to the right and a little bit of visual frustration with home plate umpire Kyle Fectus. Now Chad Gassman's going to have a word about it. He doesn't seem too happy either. Gassman saying, "You got to be kidding me." Fectus says, barely hit him, but it still hit him. Just skims the jersey. As a result, Nick Gonzalez will be awarded first base.
I don't even think Gonzalez knew it hit him. He kind of looked at the umpire a bit surprised. He'll take the free bag nonetheless.
So as a result, it'll bring in corner infielder Matthew Mervis. Albanese throws over to first and back safely Gonzalez. Nick with a short lead. Held on by Ian Fair. Mervis is a guy who's gotten his fair share of time. Came in a little bit later than some of the guys, so limited at bats. But he's really swung the bat well when he's had the opportunity. Pitch from Albanese, swing and a miss. The Mervis an 0-1 count. Hitting .317 entering today's play. As we currently speak, average sits at .314. Albanese checks the runner, Nick Gonzalez. Comes set at the belt. Stretch in the offering. Fastball. Called strike on the outer black. It's 0-2. So again, 3 outfield spots. A lot of Cavaliers bats that have either played some really good defense, swung the bat well, or a combination of both. Forced Mike Roberts to use a lot of different lineups. In fact, Mason McWhorter, who's an outfielder, playing a lot more first base these days. Now Albanese fires over. Back safely Gonzalez. Mervis steps outside the box, gripping the bat fairly tightly from the left side. Mason McWhorter, who's come in as a pinch hitter a couple different times facing Hyannis, getting the start today at first base. 0-2. Swung on and popped foul left side. This will get out of play toward the snack bar and over the bleachers. So the outfield combo today for Mike Roberts' squad, Chavers in left, Dante Williams in center, who's getting himself back in the lineup, then Joey Loperfido in right, who started the last 2 games for Cotuit. Albanese ready. 0-2. Fastball high. That one comes in at 88 miles an hour. Count runs to 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2-1 Hyannis the score in the top of the 3rd inning. Harbor Hawks with 3 hits. Cotuit with just 1, coming on the Parker Chavers single to center. He advanced to 3rd on the play with the Teodosio error. Albanese the stretch in the pitch. Breaking ball, runner taking off. Throw down for McDaniel, tag applied. Safe at second base, Nick Gonzalez. Jordan Westberg jumps into the air in frustration, but Gonzalez slides just under the tag as McDaniel caught the breaking ball, stood to his feet, fired a strike down to second, although it came in on a hop. Westberg a nice pick and tag on the runner Gonzalez, but just not quite in time. So Gonzalez makes it his 6th stolen base of the summer. 2-2 count with 2 away to Matthew Mervis, who now has a runner in scoring position. Albanese gets the sign from McDaniel. Comes set, gives the runner a look, fires home, swung on, lifted to center field fairly deep. Teodosio chasing back. He now stops, eases off the throttle, and makes the grab. So a long out for Matthew Mervis to straightaway center field ends the bottom of the 3rd. But as a result, Cotuit puts up no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on due to the Nick Gonzalez hit by pitch. It's Hyannis 2, Cotuit 1 through 3 innings of play. We'll go to the top of the 4th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Bring you back from Lowell Park in Cotuit for the top of the fourth as Chad McDaniel digs in. Takes a first pitch fastball outside. It's 1-0. McDaniel comes into the at-bat after RBI walk in his first at-bat as new reliever Christopher Holcomb's on the mound, who fires home. McDaniel flips it foul to the right side. So for Christopher Holcomb, sporting the number 32 on his back, a 6'3", 190-pound left-hander from Tulane. Comes in after 3 innings of work from Evan Justice, the NC State starter. Fires home a fastball well in the dirt, blocked by the catcher Pasek. Holcomb's had a solid summer for Cotuit, making appearance number 9, 7th out of the bullpen. He's put up a 1-0 record with a 2.51 ERA. Lefty ready in the offering. Swing and a miss from McDaniel. Chased a fastball low to level the count. The Holcomb's thrown 14 in the third innings. 10 walks, 11 strikeouts. Got some long hair flowing as well as he gets the sign, arms over the head, comes home. Line drive right at the third baseman, Mervis. He snags it on the backhand. The McDaniel squares one up just right at the Duke product, Matthew Mervis. Takes it out of midair for the first out.
Well, they call it the hot corner for a reason. Good reaction time from Mervis down the third baseline. Gave a slight leap as he reached up over the head to grab it. And Rob McDaniel with a base hit.
So now one down, it'll bring up Bryce Teodosio. Right-handed hitting, left-handed throwing center fielder from Clemson. First pitch from Holcomb. Fastball down. So the night of Evan Justice ends after he goes 3 innings. 3 hits allowed with 2 earned runs, walked 3, struck out 2. The 1-0 count to Teodosio. Here comes the offering. Breaking ball, wave and a miss. So Evan Justice hasn't gotten a whole lot of starting opportunities, at least as of late. Got 3 innings of work here tonight. And he kept Cotuit in the ballgame as a result. 1-1. Breaking ball, swing and a miss from Teodosio. Chases one in the dirt. Count runs to 1-2. For Evan Justice, that was his first start for a Cotuit ball club that sits first in the West Division. That was his first start since June the 19th against Wareham. So it's been over a month since he's thrown to start a ball game. Pitch, swing and a miss. 3 straight low breaking balls fan Teodosio. That puts 2 outs on the board in the top of the 4th inning. So for Christopher Holcomb, the lefties come in and made an impact quickly. Line out to third and a strikeout to Teodosio brings up Anthony Servideo. So since that start on June the 19th, as the pitch comes into the hitter Servideo, another breaking ball. This hits the bottom of the zone. It's 0-1. Been all relief appearances for Evan Justice. He made 3 of them at that. And now we got to start tonight against Hyannis as the 1-0 comes in. Fastball low. His last outing in total for Justice, he went 2 innings pitched, gave up 1 earned run, 1 hit, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts against Orleans. As Holcomb gets set, fires home the 1-1. Ground ball foul to the right side. He suffered the loss in that outing as Orleans won that contest 1-0 back on July the 16th. That was 4 days ago in an absolute pitcher's duel from Eldridge Park. Both Jared Schuster and Sean Sullivan really went at it. 1-2, swing and a miss from Servideo, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts from the lefty Christopher Holcomb ends the top of the 4th with Hyannis going down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. It's Hyannis 2, Cotuit 1. We'll be back for the bottom of the 4th when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Part of the lineup coming to the plate for Cotuit in the bottom of the fourth. It'll be Mason McWhorter, Parker Chavers, and Aubrey Major, with Mike Roberts Kettleers Ball Club trailing 2-1 from hometown Lowell Park. Glenn Albanese, the righty for Hyannis, back up on the mound as the first pitch to McWhorter's lined up the middle. Westberg can't get it moving to his left. It skips into center field, a base hit. So Mason McWhorter makes it 6 hits in his last 7 contests as he picks up a leadoff single to begin the bottom of the fourth inning. McWhorter just shot that one back up the middle. Westberg playing in about his natural position and alignment at the shortstop area. Moved to his left at a good effort, but couldn't quite get there as the ball skipped into center field. The leadoff base hit. Here comes another lefty, Parker Chavers. First pitch from Albanese. Breaking ball. Hits the outside corner. It's 0-1. So Cotuit, 6 natural lefties in the lineup tonight. Aubrey Major, a switch hitter. He's also hitting from the left side against the righty Albanese. Louisville product comes set, fires home. Fastball right at the knees. A good heater from the righty. It's 0-2. So just 2 natural right-handed hitters. One at the number 1 spot, Nick Gonzalez. One at the number 9 spot, Adam Oviedo. Parker Chavers, an 0-2 count. Back shoulder bent as he swings and lines one foul on the ground. Or rather, back elbow bent. Back toward home plate umpire Kyle Fectus and the catcher Chad McDaniel. Well, both Mason McWhorter and Parker Chavers entered today's play with hits in 5 of their last 6 games. McWhorter just made it 6 of 7 with that leadoff single. Chavers looking to do more of the same. He was 2 for 5 last night with a home run. The 0-2. Checks his swing, runner taking off on a breaking ball. McDaniel picks it up, but no throw. So McWhorter swipes second base, puts himself in scoring position. Glenn Albanese will be back on the mound with a 1-2 count, looking to fan the hitter Chavers for the first out. The wild pitch there from the Louisville right-hander. Breaking ball that was buried in the dirt. McDaniel tried to chest it up, but as a result, went off his chest, skipped to his right down the first baseline. And easily McWhorter took second base. Now the pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Servideo to his right. Backhand stops, throws to first. They got him. Good play from Servideo. A high chopping, bouncing ball toward the middle of the infield. As Servideo had to move to his right. Backhanded it about the neck level. Make a quick turn and throw toward first base as he does so successfully. So Chavers sent down. Advancing to third on the play, Mason McWhorter. And it'll bring up switch hitting Aubrey Major, hitting from the left side. The runner on third. Jackson Olson, the third baseman, playing in on the infield grass. Albanese, the stretch and fire. Fastball right at the bottom of the strike zone. It's 0-1. Ian Fair back behind the bag at first base. Both Westberg and Servideo straight up at their middle infield positions. So a ground ball to the right side would likely get the job done. Albanese fires home. Bouncing ball out in front of the mound. Glenn picks up no problem, flips to first in time, but the runner comes home to score. So an RBI ground out from 1 to 3 goes Aubrey Major. He picks up RBI number 10 of the summer as it plates Mason McWhorter from third and knots the game up to 2-2. The 2 away. This will bring up Joey Loperfido. He also has an RBI ground out today. That was to the right side to Anthony Servideo back in the second. Pitch, he squares to bunt, but can't do so successfully as he goes around for strike 1. Stuck that bat out in front of home plate. Never attempted to pull back as it looked like he was going to try and push bunt it up the right side. Couldn't get a piece of the barrel. Albanese now fires home the next offering. It's a fastball low. Loperfido last night, 1 for 4, a home run, 3 RBIs, as well as 2 runs scored. Albanese fires home, pop up left side. Olson gives it a look, but it's going to get out of play. So Joey Loperfido, who slugged his second home run of the summer yesterday. One of 3 Cotuit ball players to hit a home run last night. He absolutely demolished one. Parker Chavers had one, and Gonzalez had one. Now the 1-2. Fly ball into shallow left center field. Hover and Teodosio converging. It'll be Hover to take charge, makes the catch moving in. that ends the bottom of the fourth inning. For Cotuit, 1 run, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. It's Cotuit 2, Hyannis 2. We'll go to the top of the fifth when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Hyannis brings up 1, 2, and 3 in the order to the plate to start things off in the top of the fifth inning. Jordan Westberg, Ian Fair, and Trevor Hopper due up in the frame. First pitch, a breaking ball away, misses outside to Westberg, count 1-0. Westberg on his evening 0 for 1 with a walk so far. For Holcomb in relief for Evan Justice, who worked 3 innings tonight. 1-0 comes in, breaking ball. Westberg gave a bit of a half-hearted swing, but a called strike nonetheless on the outside corner. Count even a ball and a strike. Brand new ball game here from Lowell Park. We're knotted up at 2 apiece. We move into the middle frames. Westberg stepping up to the plate for the third time, trying to jumpstart something and give Hyannis the lead back. 1-1. Breaking ball down and in. Spun by the shoot tops, 2-1.
Now Cotuit got one back in the bottom of the fourth. Jump started by that single from Mason McWhorter. And another RBI ground out knotted up the game. So Cotuit got the 1 run on the 1 hit.
Westberg awaits a 2-1, cut and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Holcomb picked up a pair of strikeouts to end things in the Hyannis half of the fourth inning. And Bryce Teodosio and Anthony Servideo to end that inning. Got Westberg in a 2-strike count to start off the fifth inning with Ian Fair waiting on deck. Southpaw brings the glove over the head, now fires a 2-2. Westberg sent the chopper right side over to get to the second baseman Gonzalez. Nobody there to cover. Westberg will scamper down to first safely. He's aboard for the second time. The first baseman McWhorter and Gonzalez converged on it. Not sure who was going to take it. It ended up being Gonzalez, and by that time, nobody was over to the bag. Jordan Westberg legs out an infield single.
And we talk about Ian Fair, who's stepping to the plate now riding a 9-game hitting streak after that second inning single. Jordan Westberg's now got a 6-game hitting streak with that infield base hit. So a couple of these Hyannis bats at the top of the lineup really swinging the bat well right now.
So Fair stepping in for the third time. Lyle, just mentioned a 1-for-2 night as a check on Westberg, not in time over at first. And for as much as the struggle it's been offensively for Hyannis, come up with some hits at the top of the order with Westberg and Ian Fair. Hunter Goodman, of course. First pitch from Holcomb, fastball high and wide, count 1-0. Trevor Hopper picked up a hit earlier on tonight. There are some bats in the lineup starting to turn it on as the season winds down. Holcomb out of the stretch, gives a couple peeks to Westberg at first. Double takes, now comes home. Fair swings at the 1-0, sends a liner into right field, coming on his Loperfido. Drops in a couple steps to make the grab. Jordan Westberg back to the bag at first, and 1 down now for Trevor Hopper. Mayer got a good piece of one, and off speed on the outside part of the plate, but right at Loperfido and right. He's been busy out there. And a couple of plays to start off the Hyannis third inning. Now locking that one up for the first out here in the fifth as Hopper makes his way up to the dish.
He's got 3 putouts in the last 3 innings, so you're right. He's had a lot to work with out there.
Another lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch, a breaking ball outside. Pasek out of his crouch a bit to the left to go get it. And a ball and no strikes. And for Holcomb, lanky left-hander plays his college ball at Tulane University. Fires a 1-0 to Hopper. Fastball inside corner, catches the black, a called strike. Count evens up 1-1. Holcomb, not a guy that's gone very many innings this season. Only had 2 appearances this season go over 3 innings. Another check on Westberg at first, not in time. One of those came on Independence Day here at Lowell Park against Falmouth. Went 3 2/3 in that game. Another appearance of 3 innings at Harwich. Pitch misses outside, breaking ball. Hopper watches it go by, count 2-1. Trevor trying to make it a 2-hit day. Push Jordan Westberg up to second base, and Hyannis would have another man in scoring position if that should happen. Holcomb's 2-1 offering. Fastball at the knees, good for a strike, 2-2. Going at 87 on the gun. Hopperhawks left 3 aboard in the first inning. They stranded the bases loaded. Left 1 more on in the second inning. 2-2. Hopper swinging a miss, strike 3. And after a fastball down, came up empty with a big swing. Third strikeout for Holcomb out of the bullpen. That sets down Hopper for out number 2. They'll bring up Hunter Goodman. So Holcomb has been very, very effective out of the bullpen so far. The exception of the 1 base hit, he's retired every man he's seen. Now Mike Roberts has emerged from the dugout. He's on his way out to the hill. Calls Pasek out for a meeting. The rest of the infield in as well. This might end Holcomb's night. The big hitter and Hunter Goodman batting from the right side. Would make some sense to go to a righty from the bullpen. Now Roberts makes the signal. Meeting still out on the mound. Home plate umpire Kyle Fassett's on his way out. Assistant coach Ron Polk for Hyannis going over the scouting report for the new arm with Hunter Goodman. We'll have a pitching change here from Lowell Park on the other side of the break. The Cape Cod Baseball Network. Mike Roberts opts to go to his third arm of the ball game here tonight from Lowell Park. He brings in Ball State right-hander Kyle Nicholas, who's seen Hyannis a pair of times so far this season. Hunter Goodman will be the first man to greet him with the runner aboard and Jordan Westberg at first. 2 down here, Hyannis half of the 5th inning. 2-2 the score as Nicholas takes the rubber from the third base side as he comes set. First offering to Goodman, fastball, big swing and a miss. Goodman already has 1 hit on the night. It was an RBI double. Sent center fielder Dante Williams back toward the wall. That's score Jordan Westberg. Short lead at first being held on by Mason McWhorter currently. Right-hander set his 0-1 offering. Fastball. Hard one down in the zone. All strike count, 0-2. Now, Nicholas has had a heavy workload out of the Cavalier bullpen. This is his 10th appearance of the summer. A 1-0 record and a 4.33 ERA. Goodman waves the bat above his shoulder as he watches an 0-2 fastball in the dirt. Spiked up to Pasek behind the plate. No advancement for Westberg down at first. Nicholas made back-to-back appearances against Hyannis. He earned the win in a 16-4 win for the Cavaliers out at McKeon Park on July the 5th. 2 2/3 in that ball game. A 1-2. Breaking ball out of the zone, off the glove of Pasek toward the Cavalier dugout, spinning atop the cement steps. It's up to second base, Jordan Westberg safely into scoring position. From 2-2 to the Memphis Tiger, Hunter Goodman with 2 down. He's already picked up his 28th RBI of the summer. And potentially now with a chance for 29 with Westberg at second. Goodman stands back in, waves the bat out toward Nicholas on the mound a couple times as he comes set at his chest level. Peeks back to Westberg at second, now a 2-2 in the dirt. Off the glove of Pasek again toward the backstop. Moving up to third base now, Westberg. He'll get there standing without a throw. And Westberg, the Mississippi State Bulldog, 90 feet away from giving Hyannis the lead back here at Lowell Park on the road. Hunter Goodman not even having to lift the bat off his shoulder. Westberg moves up a couple of bags, 3-2 the count. Goodman trying to put Hyannis back on top. High leverage situation here in the 5th inning. Nicholas comes set as he stares toward Westberg. Now comes home with a payoff pitch. Goodman in the air to left field. A blooper that's going to fall in for a base hit. That scores Jordan Westberg. Hyannis back on top, 3-2. Hunter Goodman does it again. RBI number 29 of his summer and make it a 2-hit day.
And good at bat, too. He worked it all the way to a full count. Finally gets one out over the plate after watching a couple of wild pitches from Nicholas. Just shoots it into left field as it fell in front of Chavers. Hunter Goodman responsible for 2 of the 3 Hyannis runs batted in today. Isn't that pretty much the story of his season?
And who else but Goodman again? His second RBI of the day as DeSantelo stands in with 2 down. First pitch, fastball, watches it go by. Good for a strike, 0-1. Goodman, a 281 hitter with runners in scoring position and coming up big again. The 5th hit on the board for Hyannis tonight. And it puts him back in the lead here at Lowell Park against the Cavaliers. 0-1 to DeSantelo. Fastball, chopper back up the middle. Ranging to his right, Gonzalez flips to second the short way, and they got him. Goodman tossed out on the forced play at second, and Nick Gonzalez showing off the range up the middle. That is how the Hyannis half of the 5th inning will end. But Hunter Goodman picks up another RBI, 29 on the summer, and it puts Hyannis out in front 3-2 here on the road. Cavaliers back to the plate when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Cotuit brings the bottom third of their order to the plate against right-hander Glenn Albanese into his 5th inning of work. Cody Pasek, Dante Williams, and Adam Oviedo due up. Albanese's line tonight kept the damage to a minimum. 2 runs on 2 hits for these Kettleer bats. First pitch to Pasek. Tap foul straight back to the backstop. It's 0-1. Pasek was a strikeout victim back in the 2nd inning in his first plate appearance. Seeing Albanese for the 2nd time on his evening right here as he bats from the left side. Albanese shakes off a couple signs. Now he's got one. Rocks and fires an 0-1 breaking ball. Dropped in at the knees, 0-2. Albanese has racked up 4 strikeouts to his name thus far tonight. He's got Cody Pasek down, no balls and 2 strikes. As he's into his windup, here's the pitch. Fastball right back over his glove, raining up the middle. Westberg to his left, and he loses the ball. In and out of the glove on the transfers. Westberg trying to make a throw across to Ian Fair. Cody Pasek beats it out down the line. The board with a single to start off things for the Kettleers.
Yeah, Westberg would have had to make an incredibly tough play. He was shaded at his natural position at shortstop, all the way to his left, across the bag at second base, and like you said, tried to make the throw on the transfer, but that's where he lost the baseball, over in Anthony Servidio's neck of the woods. So he had the momentum trying to cut it off, but would have been a tough play to begin with.
So a runner aboard for Dante Williams. Popped out to Jackson Olsen in his first plate appearance. Cotuit forcing Albanese to work from the stretch here in the 5th inning. First pitch, a fastball popped up left side, drifting out of play. So for Glenn, working into his 5th inning, much like he did in his last appearance against the Chatham Anglers. Time before that on July the 6th, a couple days after Independence Day against the Bourne Braves. Went 4 innings, 3 runs, 7 hits in that contest. Albanese with a rather small sample size with the Louisville Cardinals in 2019, but has racked up some innings here on Cape Cod as Williams squared to bunt and pushed it foul by the Cotuit dugout. Second straight batter, Albanese has worked to an 0-2 count. Cody Pasek picking up the base hit up the middle. Dante Williams with a pause outside the box, stares at the bat, half a practice swing as he toes back in. Albanese going through the signs with McDaniel behind the plate as he peeks at the runner, Pasek at first base. Comes set an 0-2. Fastball off McDaniel's mask as it pops up in foul ground and drops in front of the Hyannis dugout. The Missouri Tiger shaking up a bit behind the plate. Those will certainly leave a mark, but McDaniel wearing the hockey-style catcher's mask. Now pitching coach Ray Korn has made his way out of the dugout. He's on his way to the mound to have a quick chat with Albanese. Count 0-2 to Dante Williams. Back to that shot off of McDaniel's mask. Wow, you see some of the catchers with the old-style mask with the coach's helmet and the pullover mask, but McDaniel's sporting the goalie style. And in some leagues, that's regulation for protection of these catchers behind the plate. They take a beating. Sometimes not enough credit goes to the backstops. Just how much pain that they take in these games.
Well, it's absolutely a wear and tear on the body. In terms of the masks, I mean, like you said, some leagues might have some regulations, but in terms of catchers, it's all about what you prefer, because some of the guys prefer the 2-piece because it's easier to throw the front of the mask off when you're trying to search for a foul ball. McDaniel clearly doesn't seem to care too much. He can throw off the 1-piece, no problem, but some guys just find it easier to throw off the front piece as it's a lot lighter.
So McDaniel back to his spot behind the plate. 0-2 to Williams is cracked in the air to right center, sending back Teodosio toward the wall. He's got it on the run. Scampering back to first, Cody Pasek. The throw is going to come in on a couple hops as Ian Fair goes up the line to get it. Pasek back to first safely. Williams gave that one a ride out to center. Teodosio got a good read on it off the bat. Went back a couple steps. And Williams is set down for out number 1. That'll bring up Adam Oviedo. 1 on and 1 down here in the 5th inning.
And Teodosio made that play. It was a tough one at that, but he made it look a little bit easier than it had to be because he had to change direction of the shoulders once. The ball looked like it was spinning on him a little bit, so as a result, has to flip the shoulders, but makes a nice grab over the shoulder.
So Oviedo steps in. First pitch from Albanese. Fastball down and away, 1-0. And for outfielders, that can be their worst nightmare sometimes if you have to turn the shoulders and take your eye off the baseball. Sometimes you lose it, but the sun's starting to set here from Lowell Park, so not much to worry about for Teodosio out there. Oviedo was a strikeout victim 0 for 1 tonight. 1-0 pitch from Albanese. Goes after a fastball, sends it on the ground left side. Westberg plays it on the backhand. Jump throw across the diamond, not in time. Westberg trying to go for the Derek Jeter type play as he was ranging back toward the left field grass, tried to jump and fire across his body to Fair. Throw pulled Fair off the bag nonetheless, but the throw would have been late anyways. Oviedo beats it out. Pasek up to second base in scoring position. Now back to the top of the order for a dangerous bat in Nick Gonzalez.
That's twice this inning. Westberg's tried to make a couple of tough plays. He just hasn't been able to execute either of them, although I doubt anybody could, especially on that last one. He had backhanded it basically behind Jackson Olsen at third base.
Westberg has been busy this inning as Gonzalez goes after the first pitch and sends it deep down the left field line, but it hooks foul off the wall. A couple of feet to the left of the foul pole down there and left by the 320 marker. Nick Gonzalez thought he got a hold of that one, just a bit out in front. I was just about to say, speaking of a guy that can do it all, look no further than the guy that stands outside the right-handed batter's box. Nick Gonzalez has been unbelievable this season at the top of the Cotuit Cavalier order. Led the entire country in average, and there were a lot of questions, Lyle. We've talked about it numerous times coming into this season on Cape Cod if Gonzalez would be able to hold up. I think he silenced all the doubters and then some. Albanese checks the runner at second, comes home with an 0-1. It's a breaking ball outside as the count evens. Gonzalez tonight has been kept off the boards hit-wise. He's reached on a hit-by pitch. That was in the third inning. Stranded out at second in that frame, but he's got a couple of runners aboard now at the dish. The two with 2 runs on 4 hits, trying to strike back and even up the ball game, or perhaps take the lead here at home. Albanese is 1-1. Fastball outside to the backstop, past the glove of McDaniel. Both runners are going to advance 90 feet into scoring position. Pasek up to third, Oviedo up to second base. That makes Gonzalez's life a bit easier at the dish. 2-1 the count. 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Albanese takes a stroll back to the rubber off the wild pitch. Albanese has been very economical tonight. Has stayed around the zone. Trying to avert some trouble here in the 5th inning with 1 down. Stares down Gonzalez at the plate, fires a 2-1 on the ground. Hot shot to third, backhanded by Olsen across the diamond to throw to Fair in time. And that gets Gonzalez, and that is a big out. 5-3 put out. That brings up Matt Mervis. Both runners stayed put. Olsen saving a run and perhaps 2. 2 down with Matt Mervis coming in.
Gonzalez hit that one hard, but Olsen, a really, really quick reaction to play it on the backhand. Makes a strong throw across to Ian Fair.
So with Matt Mervis coming up to the plate, Chad Gassman on his way out to the mound, it looks like that might be it for the Louisville right-hander. No signal to the bullpen just yet. Gassman having a talk with the right-hander on the hill, as well as the rest of the infield, and Chad McDaniel has joined him. And now he makes a signal to the bullpen. That will end the day for Albanese. Well, what a day it was. It ends after a ground out to Nick Gonzalez. Albanese will exit with 2 down here in the 5th inning. 3-2 ball game from Lowell Park. Pitching change on the other side of the break when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Chad Gassman turns to his first arm out of the bullpen in relief of Glenn Albanese here at Lowell Park in the 5th inning. With 2 down, Matt Murphy stepping in. It's the Northeastern right-hander Kyle Murphy taking the bump. This is Murphy's 8th appearance of the summer. He's 6th out of the bullpen, an 0-2 record, an ERA of 8.64. He's been roughed up a little bit, but settled down nicely after his last appearance at home against Falmouth on July the 15th, in which he worked 2 2/3 scoreless innings of 1-hit ball as Murphy goes after the first pitch, a breaking ball chopped foul right side. And before that, Murphy took a pair of losses in two of his last 3 appearances before the one against Falmouth. Worked 4 1/3 in a start on July the 9th. 5 hits, 4 runs, 7 hits, courtesy of the Commodores in that appearance. Now facing another tough lineup in the Cotuit Kettleers. 0-1 pitched, bouncer right side, foul past Ian Fair down the first baseline. So Hyannis in search of the 3rd and final out here in the 5th inning and looking to avoid some trouble posed by these Kettleers. Glenn Albanese, the last batter he faced in Nick Gonzalez was a big out on a nice play helped out by Jackson Olsen, the Hartford product, down the 3rd baseline. A hot shot made the play on the backhand, threw across the diamond to first to keep both runners put. 0-2 from Murphy. Murphy goes after it, pops it up right side into shallow right field, drifting back Fair as well as Servideo. Coming on Goodman, and it'll be Servideo to call everyone off and make the grab. Nearly collided with Goodman, but he did the trick. 3rd out is finally recorded. 2 runners stranded in scoring position for Cotuit in the inning. Harbor Hawks 3, Kettleers 2. We'll go to the 6th inning here from Lowell Park, the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Jackson Olsen, Chad McDaniel, and Bryce Teodosio to the plate against right-hander Kyle Nicholas. Back for his first full inning in relief here in the 6th. Harbor Hawks lead this one by a score of 3-2 here at Lowell Park. Kyle Nicholas back atop the mound, seeing Jackson Olsen for the first time. Jackson over 2 on his evening. Swings at the first pitch, a fastball low, and pops it up left side out of play. So for Hyannis offense that's really struggled, it's been the pitching that's been the backbone of the last couple games to keep them in these contests. Falling short in the end. Night in, night out, 0-1. Olsen swings at it, chopper left side, right at the 3rd baseman. Mervis shaded a bit towards short. Throw across the diamond in time to get Olsen. That's down number 1. Cotuit using the scouting report to a T that time as Chad McDaniel steps in. Will now bat from the left side. Taking his 3rd cuts of the ball game. Walked back in the 1st inning. That pointed a run. Then lined out back in the 4th inning. So he'll step in for the 3rd time tonight. It was a 237 hitter coming into action. First pitch from Nicholas. Breaking ball, not much tail to it. Stayed up high. Want to know the count. This is a Hyannis offense. 3 runs on 5 hits tonight, but coming into the night, ranks in the bottom half of the league across the board as McDaniel waves and misses through a fastball. Down 1-1. 8th in runs scored with 129, 5th in hits, 8th in RBI, 7th in walks, even though Hyannis does draw their fair share of the free passes. 1-1. Fastball, McDaniel goes after it, opposite field to left, sending back Shavers a few steps. He's got it lined up. He'll make the grab. McDaniel punched that one in the air to left field on a line. Shavers no problem to put him away. 2 down. They'll bring up Bryce Teodosia. So as Bryce makes his way up to the dish, he's also 0 for 2, trying to change the tide for himself tonight. A 204 hitter as he entered the evening. Now down to 196 as things update through his first 2 at-bats. Swings at the first pitch and sends it in the air to deep left field. That one is ranging back there. It is high and it is gone. Bryce Teodosia, in a blink of an eye, deposits one over the left field fence here at Lowell Park, and that extends the Hyannis lead to 4-2. How about that? First round tripper of the summer for Teodosia as he'll step on the plate and make it a 2-run ball game at the hands of the Kettleers, 4-2. What a shot from the Clemson Tiger. You can hear a pin drop here at Lowell Park. My goodness. That ball was absolutely torched. This would be the spot for Anthony Servideo. No batter has come to the plate yet. And it looks like Ben Gassman was going to opt for a pinch hitter. And now it'll be Servideo to come back to the plate. Brooks Carlson had emerged from the dugout for a moment. He was stopped just to the left of the Hyannis dugout. And now Mike Roberts is on his way out. He wants to know what the deal is. Talking things over with home plate umpire Kyle Facets. John Gassman up on the top step of the Hyannis dugout. Jordan Westberg is on deck. Anthony Servideo, who would be the number 9 hitter, up at the plate. Mike Roberts still having a word with Kyle Facets behind the plate. He's giving him an earful. Still talking things over. Not sure what the deal is. I think he's arguing that Brooks Carlson should be the hitter, because he did come onto the field to play, and it looked like Carlson was going to take his cuts. Mike Roberts very, very animated here. Still talking things over. Anthony Servideo standing outside the box, still patiently waiting. And Mike Roberts putting his case that Brooks Carlson cannot come onto the field to play and not hit. John Gassman still standing in the dugout, just silent, as now Anthony Servideo will be the hitter. Mike Roberts still barking at home plate umpire Kyle Facets, really, really upset. Thinks Brooks Carlson should be the rightful hitter. And to be fair, Brooks did come onto the field to play and make his way toward the home plate area. Kyle Facets still looking at Mike Roberts, walking him back to the dugout, and he is still yapping. Roberts not upset. Brooks Carlson retreated back to the dugout after the argument from Mike Roberts. Made his way back to the dugout as Servideo comes in. First pitch fastball good for a strike. We're finally back underway. After the home run from Bryce Teodosia to make this a 4-2 game, that was lost in the shuffle with the argument from Mike Roberts. 0-1. Popped up foul left side. That one drifting out of play. Count 0-2 to Servideo. Mike Roberts may have had a case. Brooks Carlson did pop up out of the dugout, although Chad Gassman did not signal to the home plate umpire Kyle Facets that the change was being made. I think it was set for an 0-2 offering. Up high, couldn't get Servideo to go after it. Count a ball and 2 strikes. But Bryce Teodosia making this a 2-run ball game here from Lowell Park, absolutely torching one over the fence and left. First home run of the summer. RBI number 4. 1-2 pitch runs away. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Servideo. But for Bryce, we know the power is there for sure. I mean, he has absolutely put on a show day in and day out in batting practice. Just hasn't exactly translated over to the game just yet. Flexing his muscles here in the 6th inning as Nicholas fires a 2-2 outside and the count fills up. So from 0-2 to 3-2, Servideo battling his way back. He struck out twice tonight. Punch-outs on the ledger for the Ole Miss Rebel. And then waits the payoff pitch from Nicholas as he rocks and fires. Fastball, pop-up left side. Drifting back onto the outfield grass, Mervis, as well as the shortstop Oviedo. Left fielder coming on. That's Chambers. He'll make the grab. And that ends the inning. Anthony Servideo pops out to end things, but not before Hyannis tacks on another run. A solo shot from courtesy of the Clemson Tiger, Bryce Teodosio. Makes it 4-2 here from Lowell Park. We'll go to the bottom of the sixth when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Three, 4, and 5 in the Cotuit order to the plate in the bottom of the sixth inning. Kyle Murphy, the Northeastern righty, back on the hill for Hyannis as he fires the first pitch into Mason McWhorter. It's a fastball that runs away. Count 1-0, 89 on the gun. Murphy back for his first full inning of relief here for Hyannis out of the bullpen. First arm that Chad Gassman is opts to go to. 1-0 offering, breaking ball over the top of it, swing and a miss with McWhorter. Count evens up a ball and a strike. Now Mike Roberts really upset and animated in the last frame to end the Hyannis top half of the sixth inning. 1-1 comes in from Murphy, breaking ball down and in by the shoot tops. 2 balls and a strike. Now, what Mike Roberts was making a case for is that Brooks Carlson had come out of the dugout. He was on his way to the plate to pinch hit for Anthony Servideo. Murphy set with a 2-1. Fastball just off the outside corner. 3 balls and a strike to McWhorter, who's worked himself into a good hitter's count. And Roberts may well have had a case. Carlson was just about set to take his cuts from the right side, but was called back, and Anthony Servideo wound up taking his place. Strike 2. Fastball pumped in at 86 on the gun, and the count fills up to Mason McWhorter, 3-2. Mason 1 for 2 on the evening, and a single and came around to score back in the fourth inning. Murphy a breath, now the payoff pitch. Fastball, strike 3, called at the knees. He got him looking. First strikeout of Murphy's night. Sets down Mason McWhorter for the first down here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Now that'll bring up Parker Shavers. Had a double and then reached third on the air in center field from Teodosio. It would wind up scoring on the RBI ground out courtesy of Joey Loper-Fido. Shavers seeing Kyle Murphy for the first time. Steps in for his third round of cuts. First pitch, fastball down low. Got 1-0. For Murphy on the season, first time he's seen the Kettleers. Faced Falmouth a bunch of times, but first time seeing division rival as that breaking ball spiked in the dirt, bounces to the backstop. Chambers popped up out of the box, looking down toward Mike Roberts down the third baseline. I believe they're going to rule that Chambers had gone around there trying to skip out of the way. He brought the bat over the plate. Count 1-1. Mike Roberts is shaking his head down the third baseline. Chambers back into his stance from the left side as Murphy comes set. Has a sign from McDaniel. Kicks and fires 1-1. Fastball upstairs with the letters. For the 8th appearance of the summer for the Northeastern right-hander Murphy. Has made 2 starts, but the majority of his time has been spent as a bullpen arm. 2-1. Fastball in the dirt out of the glove of McDaniel. 3 balls and a strike to Chambers. And those 2 starts came on July the 3rd back in McKeon Park against the YD Red Sox as part of a 13-1 defeat. On July the 9th, where he went 4 1/3 against the Falmouth Commodores. 3-1. Fastball chopper right side. Charging at Servideo. Fair over to get it. Cuts him off. Fires to Murphy at first. In time for the out. Good athleticism being flashed there by Murphy to scamper off the mound and cover the bag. Ian Fair cut off Servideo on the high chopper. Kyle Murphy taking his place over on the bag at first, and they gun down Shavers for out number 2. They'll bring up Aubrey Major. Murphy in search of a very clean inning. Got McWhorter the strikeout looking, and then Parker Shavers on the ground out just now. First pitch to Major. Fastball at the knees, a called strike. So Aubrey, a very small sample size on his summer. Hasn't seen a whole lot of playing time, as Lyle touched upon a bit earlier. A lot of guys in this Cotuit lineup with good bats. Aubrey Major being worked into the lineup here tonight as he watches a breaking ball from Murphy down central, 0-2. Major has seen the field. He's certainly made the most of it. 418 hitter coming into action tonight. Murphy trying to retire him on strikes. That one bounces up to the plate. Hopefully it might have got Major on the inside leg, but the count 1-2. Major with a couple words to Kyle Facet's behind the plate saying, that one got me. Tall left-handed hitter back into his stance on a 1-2 pitch from Murphy. Upstairs, spins him back out of the box. 2-2, the count evens. Hyannis has already given up one free pass courtesy of a hit by pitch. It was Glenn Albanese who struck Nick Gonzalez. Murphy's 2-2 offering on the way. Major swings and lines it over the glove of Servideo into right field, a base hit. Now Major gets himself aboard for the first time to extend things here in the 6th. First hit of the night for him. Get a 1-for-3 evening, and that'll bring up Joey Loperfido with 2 down. That's what this Cotuit lineup will do to you. Just when you think you're out of the woods, they can put up a whole bunch on it. First in the league in a number of categories offensively. First in runs with 181. Put up 2 tonight so far. Third in hits. First pitch to Loperfido. Fastball good for a strike at the bottom of the zone. It's 0-1. Cavaliers have racked up 5 base knocks tonight, so you can uptick that 267 number to 272. Climbing up toward the 3-century mark. Murphy out of the stretch. Short lead off of first for Major in 0-1. Offering good for a strike. Same spot, same result. 0-2 the count to Loperfido. Back-to-back fastballs put at the bottom of the zone. Murphy 1 pitch away from working out of the 6th inning. No balls and 2 strikes as Loperfido pinwheels the bat toward the Husky. Murphy ready in 0-2. Breaking ball. Loperfido stings one through fair and Servideo into right field. Moving up to second base, Aubrey Major. He'll stop there. Back-to-back singles for Cotuit here in the 6th. Joey Loperfido's aboard for the first time, and that'll give Cody Pasek an opportunity with 2 outs. Murphy got a quick couple of outs to start this inning, but Cotuit not going quietly. They trail by 2 here at home. Mike Roberts is going to call upon a pinch hitter. It'll be Colton Kessler. The pinch hit for Cody Pasek. The number 7 spot in the lineup. So Colton trying to come cold off the bench and do the toughest thing in baseball, pick up a base hit off the bench. Pouring a leg guard about a third of the way up his leg, just below the kneecap. First pitch from Murphy. Fastball down and in. Backhanded by McDaniel. No advance for either runner. Cotuit has left 3 men on the base paths so far tonight. 1 back in the 3rd inning, 2 in the 5th. They've got 2 more on here in the 6th inning. Colton Kessler fails to come through. That number will be upticked to 5 on the night. Murphy's 1-0. Fastball just above the top of the zone. 2 balls, no strikes to Kessler. For Cotuit, trying to sweep the Patriot Cup in 2019. They lead the series 5-0. It wouldn't be the first time one of these 2 teams have gone for a super sweep. Back in 2015, that was Hyannis. Swept the season series 8-0. Kessler fouls one back to the backstop, 2-1 the count. Hyannis swept the Cavaliers 6-0 in the regular season and then went on to face him in the postseason. They took that series 2-0. Pitching coach Ray Korn on his way out to the mound. He's emerged from the dugout for the second time tonight. Calls Chad McDaniel out with him. The quick conversation with the Northeastern right-hander Murphy. Murphy came on in relief of Glenn Albanese, who worked 4 2/3 tonight. The Louisville starter, very, very solid. Gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, only 1 of them earned, however. Didn't walk anybody and struck out 4. Albanese was very, very economical through the 19 batters that he faced. Murphy has faced 5 so far in his evening. Run into some trouble with 2 down here in the 6th inning. The count 2-1 to Colton Kessler. Aubrey Major stands at second base. Joey Loperfido at first. This has been the common trend each of the first 2 trips that Hyannis has made out here to Lowell Park. They've gotten the lead early, faltered late. That's perhaps what this meeting is about. Ray Korn just trying to calm down Murphy. Don't worry about the hitter. It's just 1 out away from getting out of this. Colton Kessler up off the bench in relief of Cody Pasek. He went 1 for 2 tonight. 2-1 offering. Kessler pops it up left side, drifting back over the grandstand toward the snack bar. Kessler just behind a fastball at 86 on the gun. Deuce is wild here in the Cotuit half of the 6th inning. Sun's starting to set behind the trees just beyond the confines of Lowell Park a little bit. Field engulfed in shade with the exception of right field as a 2-2 comes in. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And a big punch out for Kyle Murphy, his second of his evening. Fans Colton Kessler to get out of a jam in the 6th. Cotuit Strands 2 more in the frame. Still Harbor Hawks 4, Kettleers 2 on the Cape Cod Network. We'll go to the 7th. We'll be right back. Mike Roberts still trusting Kyle Nicholas on the hill. He returns to the mound in the 7th inning. 4-2 the score. Hyannis with the advantage. Top of the order, Jordan Westberg, Ian Fair, and Trevor Hauber set to take their cuts. 6 hits apiece for both sides, although Hyannis with the 2-run advantage to this point in the ballgame. Westberg steps in. He's been aboard twice. Picked up a base hit in his last plate appearance back in the 5th inning. Westberg stands in from the right side. First pitch, a fastball. Top of the zone, good for a strike. Nicholas has worked an inning and a third so far, giving up 2 hits, 1 run. Hasn't walked or struck out anybody. From his windup, takes a breath, rocks and fires an 0-1. Fastball in the dirt, backhanded by Pasek. Count even the ball and a strike. The Hyannis pitching staff stepping up to the plate and shutting down this Kettleer lineup that has been so good all season long. The lineup that put up 15 against them last night. 1-1. Fastball picks up the outside corner on the black strike, too. Juan Albanese and Kyle Murphy combining 6 innings of 2-run ball. Hyannis offense trying to strike back in the 7th and give the pitching more of a cushion as a 1-2 to Westberg comes in on the ground right side. Fields cleanly Gonzalez flipped to first in time to get Westberg. Jordan's gone for the first out of the top of the 7th inning, and that'll transition things over to Ian Fair.
Well, nice piece of ground ball contact there from Kyle Nicholas. He's been pretty effective out of relief. He's given up that 1 run. But aside from that, just a couple of hits. Just the 1 home run to Teodosio has really been his Achilles heel.
So Ian Fair steps in 1 for 3. And a 9-game hitting streak now as he takes a first pitch fastball in for a strike, 0-1. And that home run from Teodosio, like you just mentioned, Lyle, an absolute shot out of here. Straight away left field. First of the summer for the Clemson Tiger. Waving a miss from Fair through an off-speed delivery. 0-2 the count. 86 on the gun from Nicholas. There's only a matter of time for Teodosio before he got one out of here. 0-2 to Fair. Fastball just off the outside edge. Ball and 2 strikes as the Northeastern Husky stays alive. But for Bryce, we know the power's there. Puts on a show in batting practice day in and day out. Nicholas atop the rubber is 1-2 offering. Fastball, Fair sends a chopper back up the middle behind the second base bag. Picks it on the pop of Oviedo. He just eats it. Fair will reach the bag safely at first. That'll bring up Trevor Hopper with 1 down.
And well, Fair just does what he has to do. A high chopper up the middle. Would have been a tough play for Oviedo to even try to throw the ball out of his right hand. As he came down with it behind the bag at second. Fair was already sprinting down the line, so he makes the right decision to just kind of hold up. And Fair picks up his second hit as a result. Again, not super flashy, but just keeps finding ways to get on base.
Trevor Hopper steps in. Pickoff attempt at first. Fair back safely. And Ian Fair in his second stint with Hyannis, picking up a bunch of base hits, 2 tonight. Kind of brings to mind another opponent Hyannis has seen in Max Troiani from the Orleans Firebirds. First pitch of fastball upstairs to Hopper away, 1-0 the count.
Well, if you want to go there, Ian Fair has 3 more extra base hits in a little bit less time than Troiani does.
Troiani will be representing the Eastern Division in the All-Star game tomorrow night. Nicholas out of the stretch, long stare down to Pasek. Now he's got his sign, fires home. Fastball upstairs. Or apologies, that's Colton Kessler behind the plate now. Came in to pinch hit for Pasek.
Yeah, and you know, not to take anything away from Max Troiani. He's had a great summer. It's just been a lot of singles. In fact, it's been 34 of them. For Ian Fair, coming into today, had 19 hits but 4 doubles. Now you can make it 17 singles.
2-0 from Nicholas. Hopper goes after a fastball high in the zone, pops it up left side, that'll drift out of play. For Troiani, a D2 player making his way to Cape Cod and really making a name for himself. Firebirds like to call him the singles king, and rightfully so. Then a heck of a breakout season here on Cape Cod. Fair short lead off the bag at first. A 2-1 count to Hopper. Pitch. Fastball popped up again left side. A little bit farther down the left field line, but out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the left-handed hitting Sun Devil. Reached base once tonight. Was back in the first inning, came around to score since he's 0 for 2. Struck out in his most recent plate appearance, and Nicholas has worked him into a 2-strike count here with 1 down. Right-hander set, jump throw back to first. Tag applied, not in time. Fair sneaks the hand in safely. This ball game, a much quicker pace to it than the last time that Hyannis was here. Called to darkness in the 7th inning. Still some sunlight poking through as a 2-2 on the way. Fastball up high. Hopper lays off at 3-2 the count. Hopper came into the night first in the league in walks, 1 ahead of Jamal O'Gwin from Chatham. The number stands at 23 for Hopper on the season and 1 pitch away from his 24th. Nicholas set his payoff offering. Fastball in the dirt, make it 24. Hopper heads down to first base. He draws a free pass. That pushes Ian Fair into scoring position. Now it'll be Hunter Goodman with one down here in the 7th.
Well, now he can make it a 2-walk lead on Jamal O'Gwin from Chatham. Anglers and Harwich Mariners just about set to get underway at Veterans Field. In fact, it just kicked things off. Now Hopper a 2-walk lead. He works another good count. Just watches the fastball down for ball 4.
So it'll be 2-1 for Hunter Goodman when action resumes. Colton Kessler has made his way out to the mound from his spot behind the plate to have a quick chat with Kyle Nicholas. Perhaps going over some signs. Ian Fair pushed up to second base. And that's been a widespread issue and concern across baseball is sign stealing. You hear it most of the time at the professional level, but perhaps Colton Kessler wanting to be on the cautious side with Ian Fair standing behind the right-handed arm Nicholas on the hill. Hunter Goodman has picked up a pair of RBIs on a 2-hit night so far. Of course, a very potent threat in the middle of this Hyannis order. Singled in his most recent plate appearance in the 5th inning. First pitch from Nicholas on the way. Fastball pumped in, but fouled off to the right out of play. So Goodman looking to do some more damage with one out here in the 7th. Harbor Hawks have mounted up 7 hits on the board. Pushed across 4 runs, good for a 2-run advantage, 4-2 the score from Lowell Park. 0-1. Inside. Goodman thought about going around, raised the elbows a little bit. Got a ball and a strike. Another good bat for Hyannis awaits on deck. Jared DeSantolo loosening up, open for a chance here in the 7th. Double play is in order. Middle infielder shaded a bit toward the bag at second. The 1-1. Outside, Kessler coming up out of the crouch to get it. 2 balls and a strike, the count to Goodman. Harbor Hawks looking for some more insurance as we enter the late frames. Pitching staff has done their job to this point, shutting down a Cavalier offense that has gotten the better of Hyannis in the season series to this point. 2-1. Laced back up the middle, past the glove of Oviedo and into center field. Ian Fair's going to trot to third. The throw is late as Fair slides in safely. Hunter Goodman with his 3rd hit of the night and loads the bases up for FAU Owl Jared DeSantolo.
Goodman looks like he's ready to get the All-Star game started early. 3-hit night. Already at 2 RBIs, and that one just shot back up the middle for his 3rd hit. Got a good piece of it off Kyle Nicholas. So Hunter Goodman having himself a really, really nice day at Lowell Park, and now things are going to be transferred to another All-Star with the bases loaded.
So the big bats in the Hyannis lineup, one after the other. Goodman aboard at first, but a pinch runner coming in. That's Rowdy Jordan down there at first base. Goodman's night will conclude after a 3-hit day. Rowdy Jordan in for a pinch runner, and Chad Gassman off to go in with some speed on the base paths. So Ian Fair at third, Trevor Hopper at second, and Rowdy Jordan now at first, with DeSantolo stepping in from the left side against the right-hander Nicholas. Santolo's reached base once, courtesy of a free pass back in his first at-bat in the first inning. First pitch, weak wave and a miss through a fastball, strike 1. Besides the walk for Jared tonight, fly out to right, bounce into a 4-6 fielder's choice to end the 5th inning. Jared trying to come through in a big spot here in the 7th inning and give Hyannis a bit of a cushion. They've already got 2 runs to play with. As a 0-1 from Nicholas comes in, DeSantolo goes after it, pops it up left side out of play. Still just 1 down here in the 7th inning. Jordan Westberg grounded out to second to start the frame. Next 3 runners have reached. Ian Fair single. Trevor Hopper walked. Hunter Goodman singled, but has been subbed in by Rowdy Jordan. Nicholas stares down to Santolo in the box in 0-2. Outside, Ian Fair scampers back to the bag at third. Nobody was holding him on. Kessler popped up out of the crouch like he was going to attempt a back pick. Ball and 2 strikes to DeSantolo as he didn't even move from his spot out of the box. 1-2 offering. Fastball just down. Count levels at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chad McDaniel already notched an RBI walk earlier in the ballgame. Nicholas has nowhere to put DeSantelo. Right-hander one strike away from a much-needed second out. Jackson Olsen looming in the on-deck area. 2-2 pitch. Fastball to Santalo over the glove of Gonzalez into right, a base hit. That's going to play Ian Fair. Being waved around Trevor Hopper. The throw to the plate is going to be take on a hop. Not in time as Hopper slides in safely. Hopper goes crashing into the catcher Kessler behind the dish. Slides in safely, and that makes it 6-2. It's a 2 RBI single for Jared DeSantalo.
Nice piece of hitting by Jared, too. Looking for his first hit of the day. Just rips one over Gonzalez with the infield. At least Gonzalez over at second, playing a little bit in. Over his head, into right field. Gives Hyannis a nice cushion, too. Really pieced that one up well.
RBI 6 and 7 for DeSantalo on the summer. Jackson Olsen steps in. Another runner in scoring position in Randy Jordan, who was pushed up 90 feet off the single from DeSantalo, who resides at first. Olsen to bat here for the 4th time in the 7th. 0 for 3 to this point. First pitch from Nicholas. Chopper right side up the first baseline, but foul past the bag. So for Jared, the average once was up at the top of the leaderboard. Showed in 3rd place for about a week's time. Falling off a bit, but coming up with a huge clutch hit here in the 7th inning to stretch the Hyannis advantage to 4. Third baseman Matthew Mervis playing in on the lip of the grass. A bit toward the second base bag. 0-1. Offering up high. Count evens. Olsen struck out in the 1st, flew out to center in the 3rd, and bounced to third base in the 6th. Kind of 1-1 to the Hartford product. Still just 1 out in the Hyannis half of the inning. Pitch. Off speed. Catches the top of the zone for a strike. It's 1-2. What a response from this Hyannis ball club after getting thumped 15-5 on their home ballpark last night. 15-5. I'm on the road here to Lowell Park and go up by 4 in the 7th. 1-2. Olsen swings. Left side again out of play. A couple of young fans racing for the souvenir. Count still holds to the ball in 2 strikes. Hyannis really forcing Nicholas to work here in the 7th. .47 pitches the right-hander up to. 29 strikes, 18 balls, the ratio. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Olsen goes after an off-speed delivery down and away. Fans through it. Second time Olsen's been punched out tonight. A much-needed second out here in the 7th inning for Nicholas. That'll bring up Chad McDaniel. So for Chad, taking his second cuts from the left side tonight. Picked up an RBI courtesy of a walk. Probably the easiest RBI he's had of his career. 0 for 2 since. A hot shot to third in the 4th, and then flew out to left field in his most recent at-bat as he watches a breaking ball down and away here. Count 1-0. Hyannis trying to fend off these Kettleers on the road and take the last matchup of the season between the two. Score 6-2 currently. Hyannis has been in search for their 7th win for quite some time, trying to snap a 6-game losing skid. 1-0. Fastball, McDaniel sends it out of play off to the left. Ball and a strike to the Hyannis backstop with 2 down. Randy Jordan at the bag at second. Jared DeSantalo still over at first. Responsible for extending the Hyannis lead with a 2 RBI single earlier on in the inning. 9 hits on the board for the Harbor Hawks to this point. 1-1. Breaking ball in the dirt. Kessler smuggles it between the legs. 2-1 the count to McDaniel. Bryce Teodosio got a big bat in tonight's ball game with a home run in his last plate appearance. Awaits on deck. 2-1. Fastball downstairs. 3 balls and a strike. Nicholas has already given up 1 free pass in the inning. That was to Trevor Hopper. Came around to score the second of 2 runs. McDaniel waves the bat toward the mound a few times. Now he's got it over his left shoulder. 3-1. Swung on left side down the left field line, drifting back and toward the trees out of play. Count fills up 3-2 with 2 down. Runners will be off with the pitch. Daniel trying to extend this half of the 7th inning and give Teodosio a shot. Nicholas a breath as he looks back toward Jordan. Now fires home a payoff offering. Straight back into the backstop. That one tagged at 89 on the gun according to the scoreboard here at Lowell. Sun officially starting to disappear behind some trees just off to our left. The entire playing field engulfed in shade. Again, no lights here at Lowell Park. Nicholas's next offering. 3-2 downstairs. Then it'll load the bases again for Teodosio. Second free pass of the frame surrendered by the right-hander. Having some struggles with the command, and now the Clemson Tiger will take his spot again in the batter's box. And now Mike Roberts emerges from the Kettleer dugout on his way to the mound. That looks like it'll signal the end of Nicholas's outing. We're going to get another pitching change here from Lowell Park with 2 outs in the Hyannis half of the 7th and a 6-2 ball game here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Mike Roberts turns to his 4th arm out of the bullpen with 2 down in the top of the 7th inning with Bryce Teodosio stepping up to the plate. Right-hander Chris Farrell out of William and Mary. His 7th appearance in a Kettleer uniform on the 2019 summer. Racked up a record of 0-1 and a 7.20 ERA. He inherits a bases-loaded situation with 2 down. And Bryce Teodosio stepping in, who's 1 for 3 with a home run tonight. Farrell trying to get the last out of the 7th inning and get his Kettleer bats to the plate. Teodosio watches a breaking ball upstairs. It's 1-0. That's just the 3rd appearance out of the bullpen for Farrell on the summer. Right-hander stands at 6 foot, 195. Stares down Teodosio, comes home with a 1-0. Fastball off the handle of the bat, just behind the grandstands off to our right. Count evens at 1-1. And for Teodosio, launched his first home run of the summer and picked up RBI number 4. That was a long time coming. Teodosio certainly has the power stroke. Puts it on display in batting practice each and every night. 1-1. Working the ball up high again. 2 balls on the strike. Lyle, after taking a 15-5 crack on the chin last night, really good to see this offense responding in such a big way, putting up 6 runs on 9 hits and a 4-run advantage. Barrow gets a sign, comes home with a 2-1. Teodosio, big swing and a miss through a fastball. Trying to deposit another one over the fence with that swing. Deuces wild here in the 7th.
Yeah, the offense has been really good, however, today, and it's been pretty spread out. A couple in the 1st, one in the 5th, the Teodosio home run in the 6th, but otherwise they've just really capitalized on opportunities so far today.
Teodosio with a 2-2 count. Pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Down he goes, an off-speed delivery as Farrell does the job out of the bullpen, gets Teodosio. Second time Bryce has punched out tonight. But the damage has been done. Hyannis tacks on a couple more courtesy of a 2 RBI single from Jared DeSangelo. And they get Harbor Hawks 6, Kettleers 2. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Bottom of the 7th here from Lowell Park in Cotuit. And with the right-hander Kyle Murphy back on the mound for Hyannis. He'll face Dante Williams, Adam Oviedo, and Nick Gonzalez, the 8-9 one-hitters. Dante Williams will dig into the left side of the box against the righty Murphy, who opts to work directly out of the stretch. Likes to have a short, compact delivery. Williams today, pair of pop-outs, one to third, one to center. He takes a first pitch fastball just away. 1-0 the count. Hyannis leading 6-2 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Harbor Hawks added on as Murphy gets the sign. Comes home. That catches the corner. And the count will run to 1 ball, 1 strike. So in the top of the 7th, Hyannis put up 2 runs. They did so on 3 hits. They left 3 on base. And now Murphy has a little bit of a cushion to work with. Righty gets set, fires home, breaking ball. Catches the top of the zone, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes to the hitter Williams. Murphy's thrown an inning and a third of relief to this point. No runs on 2 hits. He's been very, very effective thus far. The infield playing straight up. Olsen just behind the bag at third. Now the 1-2. Swung on and pop foul out of play behind home plate. So Williams will reset just outside the lefty batter's box. He adjusts the glove for a second, puts the left hand toward the top of the barrel. Arizona Wildcat going up against the Northeastern righty Kyle Murphy. Righty ready, the offering, up high. That runs to 2 balls, 2 strikes. Williams, who stands at 5'10", 170 pounds. Speedy left-handed hitting bat. At 267 in his school season with 7 stolen bases. As Murphy, who's working from the third base side, takes a breath, fires home the 2-2. Off speed, misses low. Count runs full. Hyannis leading by 4, and Murphy looking to continue his effective relief outing. On the season here in Cape Cod, Williams hitting 189. Now the 3-2. Swing on and tapped into the glove, strike 3. Dante Williams strikes out for the first time tonight. Kyle Murphy makes it a trio of Ks. And there's 1 down for Adam Oviedo here in the bottom of the 7th. So Oviedo digs in, 1 for 2 so far. Struck out looking in his first plate appearance. That was back in the bottom of the 3rd. Also singled, advanced to second on a wild pitch in the 5th inning. Murphy ready, stretching the offering. Breaking ball misses just outside. So Oviedo, spent his first 2 seasons at Texas Christian. Now he'll be transferring to play at Oral Roberts for the Eagles. 1-0. Fastball at the bottom of the zone, strike 1. Displeasure from the Cotuit crowd after that call, as some thought that was a little bit under the kneecaps, and Mike Roberts not too happy with home plate umpire Kyle Fectus, saying that's terrible from the third base coaching box. He's clapping his hands a couple times. Murphy's now ready, the 1-1. Swung on and pop foul right side. That'll get out of play toward the trees behind the bleachers. And Mike Roberts has had a bone or 2 to pick so far today with the home plate umpire Fectus. He was not thrilled after the Teodosio home run when Chad Gassman looked like he was going to bring in Sanford first baseman Brooks Carlson into the game, but opted to leave Servideo in the 9 slot. Now the 1-2. Line drive into short right field. It drops in front of Rowdy Jordan, who's come in as a defensive replacement for a base hit. So Oviedo hits the bag at first. He'll stop there with his second base hit of the night. And with 1 on, 1 out, brings back the top of the lineup in Nick Gonzalez.
Well, that's a good approach from Adam Oviedo right there. Just took a fastball outer edge of the plate into right field, dunking it in front of Rowdy Jordan. Not trying to do too much, just taking what Murphy gave him there.
So Rowdy Jordan, who came in to pinch run for Hunter Goodman after a 3-hit night, has taken over his spot in right field as well. Murphy the stretch and the pitch to Gonzalez. Line drive off the glove of Murphy. It skips to his right. He picks it up, fires to first base in time. So Kyle Murphy gives a little bit of a smile as he looks to his college teammate Ian Fair as he's retired Nick Gonzalez for the 2nd out. He's limping a little bit behind the mound. Chad Gassman and Hyannis trainer are going to go and check on him. Home plate umpire Kyle Fectus makes his way out there as well. But here's a sight you don't too often see. Nick Gonzalez hitless tonight. He's got a 6-game hitting streak riding. He has hits in 13 of his last 14 games entering today. So Mervis will be the hitter when things resume. They're going to let Kyle Murphy get a couple of warm-up pitches in to make sure he's okay. Gets 1. Chad Gassman and the trainer both signal with the nods of heads that Murphy appears to be just fine. So he's going to rub a baseball out behind the mound, get back on top of the rubber, and get set to face Mervis. But Nick Gonzalez, a rare sight here on Cape Cod. Hitless so far tonight, although he has reached base. He was hit by a pitch back in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Murphy the stretch and the pitch to Mervis. Off speed, catches the outside corner, strike 1. Well, you can highlight about any offensive category you want. Gonzalez is either going to sit in as the leader or in the top 3. Here's another stat nugget. There's been 1 game the entire summer Nick Gonzalez hasn't reached base. Just 1 game. That was back on July the 9th against the Bourne Braves. So 11 nights ago, for the first time, he did not reach base in a game. A 1. Breaking ball low, chested up by McDaniel. Kind of moved to 1 ball, 1 strike. But back on July the 9th, the Braves won the contest 6-4. And it took what was a 5-inning outing from Harrison Rutkaski, who's been one of the best pitchers on the entire Cape Cod League this summer. And as well as a good relief outing from guys like Blake Burzell, Brocious, and Nick Trogerlick-Iverson to keep Nick Gonzalez off the base paths at any point. Now the 1-1. Ground ball to the left side. Charging in Olsen. Fields glove side. Throws across in time. So retired is Mervis as he throws his helmet to the ground as it ends the bottom of the 7th inning. And as a result, Hyannis keeps their 6-2 lead through 7 frames. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. It's Hyannis 6, Cotuit 2. We'll go to the 8th on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Top of the 8th here from Lowell Park in Cotuit, with Hyannis leading by a score of 6-2 against the hometown Kettleers. It'll be Anthony Servideo, left-handed hitting second baseman from Ole Miss, digging into the left side, against right-hander Chris Farrell back on the mound. The righty gets set, fires home, fastball low, it's 1 ball, no strikes. Well, Mike Roberts is probably less than thrilled to see Servideo in the batter's box. He had some choice words for Kyle Fectus back in his last plate appearance. Fastball misses high. Chad Gassman was getting ready to send Brooks Carlson, Samford first baseman, to the plate as a pinch hitter. However, after Teodosio's home run, which was a moonshot out to left field, they left Servideo in. 2-0. Fastball catches the outside corner. 2-1 the count now. And Roberts really, really unhappy. Once again, felt like as if Carlson was onto the dirt and toward the batter's box already. He was announced as the hitter. Servideo swings away, shoots one to left field fairly deep. Chavers going back, still going as he makes the catch on the run toward the wall. So Servideo gives one a ride the opposite way, but Chavers played it well, backtracking it a little bit to his left, making the catch over his left shoulder. That brings up Jordan Westberg. He's 1 for 3 with a walk today, scored twice. So he stepped on the plate 2 of the 6 times for Hyannis thus far. Righty Chris Farrell gets set, delivers. The breaking ball just inside. The count will run to 1 ball, no strikes. Well, Westberg, who's sitting with a 6-game hit streak, hitting .362 on the summer, he has certainly had himself a productive time with Hyannis. Pitch, fastball low. So again, all-star game coming up tomorrow at Eldridge Park. Harbor Hawks sending 3 guys. Tyler Madison, right-hander from Bryant. Jared DeSantillo, third baseman from FAU. As well as Hunter Goodman. As Westberg swings away, lines one out to straightaway center. Williams chases a couple steps back to his right and makes the grab. Westberg hits one on the screws just right at the Wildcat Williams as there's 2 outs for Ian Fair. And Goodman, who of course will also be participating in the home run derby. Right-handed hitting catcher and outfielder from Memphis. Although there was certainly an argument that you could make a fourth for Westberg. He's sure got the talent to hang with everybody in that game as Fair watches a breaking ball low and away. The only reason he likely didn't get in is the sample size was too small. Westberg came in late, made a deep run into the College World Series with the Mississippi State Bulldogs, and then was at Team USA tryouts for a week. Pitched a fair swing and a miss. But again, Westberg with that torrid start, 12 for his first 20 with the 3 home runs, 8 RBIs. And now he's sitting at 356, even after that line out to center. Fair watches one at the letters on an off-speed 1 and 2. So he is certainly talented enough, and the numbers are certainly gaudy enough to make the argument to put him in the All-Star game. But the sample size is probably just a little bit too small. Farrell ready, the 1-2. Swung on and popped up down the right field line. This is hooking out a play toward the trees. First baseman Mason McWhorter and right fielder Joey Loperfido gave a healthy chase, but they just watched it go. So Farrell 1-2 count. He's 2 for 4 with a pair of singles. Farrell's ready. 1-2 comes in. Check swing on an off speed. Appeal down to first. He doesn't go around. So that skipped over the glove of the catcher Colton Kessler. He came in to replace Cody Pasek earlier in the game. Pasek, the main product, ended his night 1 for 2. Had 1 hit and also struck out once. 2-2 the count to Goodman. Nobody aboard. Hyannis leading 6-2 in the top of the 8th inning. Farrell ready. 2-2 comes in. Ground ball chopped foul over toward Chad Gassman in the third base coaching box. He'll just flip it over toward the Cotuit dugout. So Fair twirling the bat in his hands. He now gets back into the box, flips the bat at the mound once and into his stance. Righty Farrell gazes in, lifts the leg, fires. Ground ball out to the shortstop Oviedo. Moves to his right, backhands, throws over the diamond, and that'll end the inning. So Hyannis, 1-2-3 in the top of the 8th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. It's the Harbor Hawks 6, Kettleers 2. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Bottom of the 8th set to get underway here from Cotuit. Hyannis leading 6-2 through 7.5 frames. And as a result, Chad Gassman's going to opt to go to the bullpen again. He'll bring in the right-hander Connor Ash from the University of Missouri. Ash set to make his 8th appearance on the summer, his 5th out of relief. 0-2, ERA of 6.42. He's walked 13, struck out 33. So certainly a high strikeout, high-volume pitcher is Ash. He's got a low 90s fastball, but just finds ways to miss a lot of bats. Can also flip in a good breaking ball. He's set to face a Cotuit lineup that'll represent the 3-4-5. Mason McWhorter, Parker Chavers, Aubrey Major. So for Ash, 4-pitch guy. Fastball, changeup, curveball, slider. And he's set to face Mason McWhorter, who today 1 for 3 with a run scored. McWhorter digging in from the left side. The righty Ash, who stands at 5'11", 191 pounds, up on top of the rubber, working from the first base side. He gets the sign from his collegiate teammate Chad McDaniel. Fires home. Breaking ball on the outside corner, strike one. Now Ash has started to get a few starts with the Hyannis Ball Club. Turned in a really good one his last time out against Falmouth. 0-1. Swung on and popped in the air, fairly deep left field. Mitch McIntyre in as a replacement, shifting back. He makes the catch, and there's one away. So McIntyre into the game. He replaces Trevor Hopper, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Connor Ash, a quick first out to begin the bottom of the 8th. Back to that start, however. 5 nights ago against Falmouth, July the 15th, Ash went 5 2/3 innings, 1 earned run on 4 hits. He struck out 8. That was his highest total ever since entering college play. The fastball runs into the hitter Chavers, or off speed rather. That's 0-1. Hits the outside corner at that. But that was Ash's best start of the entire summer. His best outing, you could argue, of the entire summer. The 1-0 comes in, a swing and a miss. Buried another off speed in the dirt. And Chavers, who today is 1 for 3, finds himself in an 0-2 count. Ash working quickly back on top of the rubber. The wind in the 0-2, swinging a foul back. The Chavers fights one off the handle of the bat to stay alive. But Ash's career high in strikeouts, at least in his school season, was only 6. He'd punched out 2 trios 2 different times before entering that start this summer. The 8 against Falmouth, a career high. 0-2 misses down. So Ash is certainly a high strikeout guy. There's no question about that. He's got 33 on the summer. As he quickly gets the sign, glove right at the belt, now at the face after looking in at McDaniel. 1-2, down low and the count 'll level. Ash stands at 3rd place in the Cape League in strikeouts. Ian Seymour of YD sits in 1st with 39. Carmen Majinski of Falmouth in 2nd with 35. Connor Ash sitting in 3rd place. 33 punch-outs for the right-hander. Now the stretch in the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, make it 34. Connor Ash fans Parker Chavers. He strikes out for the first time tonight. And there's 2 down for switch-hitting Aubrey Major. So Connor Ash, quick dismissal of the hitter Chavers. He worked it to a 2-strike count. Got back into a 2-2 as it leveled, and then hit fastball to blow by the hitter Chavers for the 2nd out. Now Aubrey Major digs in. Ash fires home, swung on and fouled back. It's been a quick dismissal of the first 2 hitters. Ash has wasted no time against 2 of the better bats in the order, McWhorter and Chavers. And now it's Aubrey Major who, with the single back in the 6th inning, has extended his hitting streak to 9 games. Now the 0-1, swinging a line drive foul down the left field line. So both Aubrey Major and Ian Fair sporting 9-game hitting streaks, both of them with singles today. Aubrey has 1, Ian has 2. And Major actually missed about a week of time. This is his first start since July the 13th. 0-2 from Ash. Breaking ball, this is just in. 6-2 Hyannis will score in the bottom of the 8th inning. Hyannis with 9 hits, Cotuit with 7. But the Harbor Hawks have really capitalized on opportunities today. Ash, the righty, puts the glove to the face, fires home. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Major fans at a fastball over the letters, and that ends the inning. With that strikeout going back-to-back for Ash, he puts himself into a tie with Carmen Majinski for 2nd place in the Cape League in punch-outs. And through 8 innings, Hyannis leads 6-2 over the Kettleers. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We'll go to the 9th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. To the ninth we go from Lowell Park in Cotuit. Hyannis leading 6-2 over the Kettleers. And with the 3-4-5 due up for the Harbor Hawks, it'll be a pinch hitter for Trevor Hauver, bringing up Mitch McIntyre. Left-handed hitting bat from BYU. He took over in left field as a defensive replacement back in the bottom of the 8th inning. Now getting his first at bat tonight as Farrell rocks and fires home. Ground ball foul to the right side. McIntyre came in as a replacement yesterday as well, and he put an absolute charge into a ball, but it was caught at the wall by Cam Hill. It probably wouldn't have quite gone out, but Hill still took away extra bases from the hitter McIntyre. Mitch comes in hitting 204. Wiggling the bat from the left side on his back shoulder. As the righty Chris Farrell comes home upstairs, and the count moves to 1 ball, 1 strike. Farrell's worked an inning and a third to this point. Hasn't given up a hit, hasn't given up a run. And he struck out 1 as well. He gets the sign from the catcher, Kessler, as he fires home. Down low, 2 balls, 1 strike. So Hyannis run spread across pretty well today. 2 in the first, 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th. Pitch swung on and popped up foul out of play. That gets over by the snack stand on the left side. And the pitching has really held up nicely today. Glenn Albanese, 4 2/3 innings, giving up just 1 earned run. One of his better starts of the summer. Kyle Murphy, 2 1/3 scoreless. Connor Ash, an inning scoreless. Ash, the last pitcher to come in the game. He'll likely go back out. Pitch comes into McIntyre. Check swing. Appeal to first. He goes around, and as a result of a late call, Kessler just picks up the baseball and flips it over to first for the first out. But McIntyre waited for the call, then saw that he went around according to third base umpire Larry Rosenberg. As a result, a late start down to first and was thrown out by Kessler. That'll bring up Rowdy Jordan. He comes in to replace Hunter Goodman. This will be his first at bat tonight, however. Came in as a pinch runner, then took over in right field. Now the pitch, fastball low, and the count will move to a ball, no strikes. So Connor Ash, who looked mighty sharp in his inning thus far, faced the minimum, struck out 2, also gave up a fly ball to left field. Now the 1-0 comes in, swing and a miss from Jordan. So a lot of replacements for Hyannis late in the game, at least in the outfield. Both Rowdy Jordan and McIntyre coming in late. The pitch comes in, taps foul behind the plate. So a couple of these latter relievers for both sides looking really sharp. Chris Farrell's been really good out of relief. Connor Ash, who started the season as a reliever, in fact, he threw 7 scoreless innings to begin his summer, put back into a relief role here, and back to doing what he does best. Striking out hitters out of relief and keeping guys off the board. 1-2 to Jordan. Tapped out to the shortstop Oviedo. Picks it glove side, throws across the diamond on the run, and it's in time. So Jordan retired. 6-3 put out makes it 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. And it'll segue things to Jared DeSantalo. DeSantalo came up with a 2 RBI single his last time around. Those were RBIs number 6 and 7 of his season. And if you're a Hyannis fan, you won't have to wait around too long to see Jared again. Hyannis off tomorrow, as is the rest of the Cape League due to the All-Star game. Jared will be partaking, however. As Farrell winds home, check swing, but it's a fastball low. He doesn't go around. It's 1-0. The Jared's had some success here at Cotuit. 2 RBI single today. He also launched a home run to right field his last time here. Pitch, swinging a ground ball, nubbed off the mound to the right. Flubbed by the pitcher, Farrell, who tried to field, flips to first, not in time. The DeSantalo safe at first base. That extends the top of the 9th. As there was a ground ball to the right side. It brought Chris Farrell, the pitcher, off the mound. He went to go try to retrieve it, moving to his left. Flubbed it for a second, then re-picked it up off the ground with his bare hand. Flipped to first, but way late. That'll be ruled an E1 as it puts DeSantalo aboard with 2 outs. And Jackson Olsen will be the hitter for the 5th time. 6-2 Hyannis leads. And now time's going to be called. Looks like Cotuit trainer is going to go out and check on Farrell. But might have tweaked something coming off the mound. Time's going to be called with Olson just waiting on the infield grass to the right of the lefty batter's box. But Hyannis and Cotuit squaring up for the final time this season. This is the sixth matchup between the two. Cavaliers have already taken the 2019 Patriot Cup 5-0. One more time as a refresher. It's named the Patriot Cup due to the two towns of Hyannis and Cotuit sharing a Barnstable newspaper. That's how the rivalry got the name, and as a result, there's a trophy presented at the end of each season. And now, as of the last four, it'll go to Cotuit. They've won 4 straight Patriot Cups. Hyannis back in 2015 actually got the ultra sweep, 6-0 over the Cavaliers. And then they won a best-of-3 series in the playoffs, 2-0. As Farrell warms up for a couple pitches, he looks to be okay. Trainer will run back to the dugout. Home plate umpire Kyle Fectus will run back behind the mound. And the right-hander, Chris Farrell, steps behind them, or rather, Fectus runs behind the plate. Farrell was behind the mound. Now he gets back on with Olson digging in and quickly fires over to his first baseman, Mason McWhorter, but DeSantillo was just standing right on the bag. So there was no lead. There's a runner on first base. That's DeSantillo with 2 outs. 6-2 Hyannis the lead. Stretching the pitch to Olson. Low and away fastball. It's 1-0. But since that 2015 season, Cotuit's had all the success against Hyannis. 5-1 series win last year in 2018. They're up 5-0 in the series here in 2019. But Hyannis has a 4-run lead here in the 9th. Pitch. Ground ball left side to his right Oviedo. Fields cleanly, fires to second for 1, and that ends the inning. So a 6-4 fielder's choice ends the top of the 9th. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left on. Bottom of the 9th coming up. Hyannis looking for their 7th win of the season. That'll be in just a moment on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Six, seven, 8 coming up for Cotuit. Their last hope here in the bottom of the 9th inning with the right-hander Connor Ash back on the mound, looking to close it out. Loperfido, the left-handed, hitting back at a Duke, will dig in from the left side with the 5'11", 191-pound Connor Ash back up on the hill. Gets the sign, quickly puts the glove over the face, rocks and fires. Fastball on the inside corner, strike 1. So Ash now sits for a tie in second place in the Cape League in strikeouts. That's neck and neck with Carmen Majinski of Falmouth. The righty will take a breath, gets the sign, and fires to Loperfido. Fastball, this one too far inside. Count levels at 1 ball, 1 strike. So Hyannis put up 2 runs in the first, 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th. Cotuit had 1 in the 2nd and 1 in the 4th. Ash gets the sign, delivers, ground ball foul to the left side, back over by the batter's box of Cotuit. Harbor Hawks looking to pick up a win here in 2019 against the Kettleers. They couldn't do so at their hometown ballpark of McKeon. All three of those contests were pretty lopsided in favor of the Kettleers. Now Ash is ready. Kicks and delivers the 1-2. Ground ball foul right side. Connor Ash will get a new baseball. Works back up on the mound. Again, he's made 3 starts this summer. His best outing coming his last time around on July the 15th. 5 2/3 of 1-run ball. Career high 8 strikeouts since entering college play. Now the 1-2. Fastball way upstairs. It takes his college teammate Chad McDaniel out of his crouch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Ash has had some success as a starter, much more as a reliever. 7 scoreless innings to start the year out of relief. As he gets the sign. Ready with the 2-2. Down low and the count runs full. That fastball is starting to uptick. That one coming in at 94 miles an hour from the right-hander. In those 3 appearances where he threw 7 scoreless innings of relief, he also struck out 14 batters. Struck out 2 so far tonight. Now the 3-2. Line drive over the head of Servideo into right field. Fielded on a couple hops by Rowdy Jordan as he throws it back in to Anthony Servideo at second base. But Cotuit gets the 9th started on the right foot with a leadoff hit from Loperfido. That's his 2nd hit tonight. He stands aboard at first as pitching coach Ray Korn's going to come out to the mound to go over the scouting report and game plan before Colton Kessler steps into the box. So really, first little mistake Ash has made all day, Brendan, and it's hard to even call it a mistake. It was a pretty good pitch. Loperfido just got the best of it, kind of reaching the bat down low to golf it into right.
I think you have to give credit to Loperfido on that at bat. I mean, the pitch was down and in. It was a good location. Ash spotted it up well. Loperfido just kept the hands inside the baseball nicely and looped it over the head of Servideo into right. You're going to start off an inning needing a comeback. That's one way to do it.
The meeting's still going on up on the hill. Home plate umpire Kyle Fectus asking for it to conclude. Now it does. He'll run back behind the plate. Catcher Chad McDaniel walking his way there with Ray Korn making the slow walk back to the dugout. So Colton Kessler, the hitter, left-handed bat from Kentucky, is going to dig in. It'll be his first time seeing Connor Ash. Kessler, the number 7 bat in the lineup. Runner at first, Loperfido, being held on by Ian Fair. Ash fires home, fastball low. 1 ball, no strikes the count. Ash doesn't have a save on the summer. It's not a safe situation here either. Hyannis is up by 4 runs. Ash takes a breath from the stretch, slide steps the offering. Foul ball out of play on the left side. He worked a clean 8th inning. Got Mason McWhorter to fly out to left. Then punched out Parker Chavers and Aubrey Major, a pair of all-stars back-to-back. Cotuit with 8 all-stars, Hyannis with 3. And a lot of them have been on display for the Kettleers here today. Ash now the 1-1. Foul ball out of play to the same spot on the left side. Starting to get pretty dark here in Cotuit. Game's reached 8:02 p.m. First pitch was recorded 5:06, so coming right up on the 3-hour mark. And Cotuit, one of 3 ballparks in the Cape League without lights, to go along with Whitey and Brewster. Ash now gets a new ball. Comes set with the 1-2. Here it comes. Just outside with the off speed, and that evens the count. So Hyannis looking for win number 7. Bourne Braves currently trailing the Wareham Gatemen. That's a score of 7-3 out at Doran Park. No hold from Fair. The 2-2. Flare shot into short left center field. Teodosio coming in. It drops in front of him. Picks it up on a hop, tosses it back in. Back-to-back hits for the Kettleers. Have 2 on with nobody out in the 9th. The back-to-back singles. There's now going to be a pinch hitter. It'll be Florida State Seminole Robbie Martin coming in for Dante Williams. McDaniel up on the mound to go over something with Connor Ash, his Harbor Hawk and college teammate. Concludes. McDaniel walks back behind the plate. But Martin comes in looking to make an impact. Kettleers trailing 6-2. And again, it's getting darker and darker, so we'll see how long they opt to keep playing this thing. If it gets called before the conclusion of the inning, it'll revert back to what the score was at the end of the 8th. Dash fires home an offering, breaking ball that didn't break. It stays up high, 1-0. At the end of the 8th inning, it was 6-2 Hyannis. So if it gets too dark and the game's called, it'll be a Harbor Hawk victory. Connor working from the stretch. Slide steps the 1-0. Breaking ball on the inside corner. That levels the count. So Hyannis looking to start a new streak. They've lost 6 straight, 9 of their last 10. They're looking to pick up win number 7 here on the summer. I'm looking for win number 1 over the Cotuit Ball Club. Ash is 1-1. Breaking ball stays up high. And the first 2 games here at Lowell Park between these 2 clubs were really close. Cotuit won the first game by a score of 9-8, and a Raja new home run was the difference maker in that one. Then they won the second one 7-6. Ash is 2-1. Slap foul behind the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Nobody out. It's the Harbor Hawks 6, the Kettleers 2. Adam Oviedo awaiting on deck. 2 straight hits from Cotuit have started the inning off the right way for Mike Roberts' squad. Loperfido a single, Kessler a single. Now Ash gets the sign and comes set. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 36 of the summer for Connor Ash, his 3rd of the night. Puts 1 out on the board in the bottom of the 9th inning. And just like that, Adam Oviedo is going to walk to the bench. And Mike Roberts wants to fight power with power. He's going to bring up switch hitting Raja New. He'll dig in from the left side to try to get something going off Ash. So Oviedo's night done. In fact, the entire 3rd of the Cotuit lineup's been replaced. Pasek replaced by Kessler. Williams by Robbie Martin. And now Oviedo by Raja New. Ash is offering swing and a miss. No balls, 1 strike the count.
Well, this is definitely the right move by Mike Roberts here. In the first meeting between these 2 at Lowell Park, Raja New deposited what was the game-winning home run.
Ash will come set, still getting darker here from Lowell Park. He checks the runner at second. 0-1. Breaking ball in the dirt. Whoa, they're going to call it a strike. No balls, 2 strikes. So borderline pitch from Ash. He gets the call. 0-2 with 1 out. He flipped a good breaking ball in there. He struck out 2 straight to end the bottom of the 8th. He's got 3 total. Ash checks the runner. The 0-2. Just outside. 83 miles an hour and off speed. Count runs to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Anu with 4 home runs on the summer, but he's kind of a boom or bust type of hitter. Hitting just 194, but he's driven in 17 runs. 1-2 from Ash. Down low in the dirt, chested up by McDaniel. Runners are going to stay put. It's Loperfido at second, Kessler at first. Robbie Martin struck out swinging, and now Raja New's the hitter. It's gotten pretty quiet here from Lowell Park. Still a few scattered fans on hand. Raja New waving the bat above his left shoulder. 2-2 from Ash. Fastball runs away. Count will go to 3 balls, 2 strikes. And Ash does not want to lose the guy at the plate anew. Again, a guy hitting just 194. If he walks him, Nick Gonzalez will represent the tying run in the ball game. The 3-2 with 2 on, infield back. Payoff pitch. Outside, ball 4. Anu draws a 1-out walk to load the bases. And here comes the ever-dangerous Nick Gonzalez.
Well, this is most definitely the not most ideal situation for Connor Ash on the hill right now. Bases loaded situation. Nick Gonzalez at the plate and a pinch runner's coming in. Well, Raja New does his job in getting on base. And he'll be stepped down with 1 down. Darkness still continuing to fall over the ballpark. A few shades darker than what was last time around here at Lowell Park when the game was called.
So Anu's going to exit the game. He'll be replaced by Cam Hill, a pinch runner at first base. And now Chad Gassman's going to make his way out to the mound. And Cotuit faithful are giving him some boos and jeers throughout the park, but it's probably the right idea. He's trying to kill time with no lights here from Lowell Park. And now he's going to opt to go to the bullpen, ending Ash's night.
And definitely a Strategic move here by Chad Gassman, no doubt about it.
The Cotuit fans not happy, but it's going to end Ash's night with one out. The bases loaded in the bottom of the ninth. Hyannis leading 6-2. New arm coming on when we come back on the other side of the break on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Back from Lowell Park, and the ball game is over. Hyannis is going to pick up a 6-2 win over the Cotuit Cavaliers. Game called due to darkness, and Mike Roberts is beyond livid. So Chad Gassman, maybe a little bit of strategy involved in that bullpen change. He removes Ash, was going to bring in a right-hander, and the umpires decide the game is too dark, and it's going to get called due to darkness. As a result, Hyannis picks up their 7th win of the summer. They win the contest by a final score of 6-2 and salvage the Patriot Cup in 2019, getting a win off the Cotuit Cavaliers.
Oh, Gassman absolutely knew what he was doing in that situation. There's no doubt about it. He had it in the back of his mind that no lights here at Lowell Park. Might as well make a pitching change and try and stall some time. That's exactly what he did, and the umpires converged and decided this game was no longer playable. And Mike Roberts certainly has a case to be upset. He's still barking over there down the third baseline. Not happy as the Cavaliers had the bases loaded and their best hitter at the plate. He has every right to be upset, but Hyannis, a good performance all around tonight to hang on.
Yeah, and they're all, look at this, they're all smiling as they're exchanging fist bumps and handshakes over by home plate. Mike Roberts is still mad. He's down the third baseline. Now he's screaming at his own photographer, probably just trying to blow off some steam. But as a result, Hyannis dodged what might have been a major, major bullet, Brendan. You just talked about it. Connor Ash walked to Rajanu. That loaded the bases with one out. It would have put up Nick Gonzalez to the plate, the guy who is probably the league favorite to win the MVP at this point. He would have had a bases-loaded situation coming to the plate, but the game gets called due to darkness.
Well, we know the power Gonzalez has, too. So with the game in the balance in that situation, you know Mike Roberts wanted to get at least Nick Gonzalez's at-bat through. Connor Ash loading up the bases with the Rajanu walk, that was nerve-wracking enough, and Chad Gassman had seen enough, and maybe it was a little bit strategy-wise, time-wise, and darkness-wise for Chad Gassman to come out and make that pitching change, but also Ash did work himself into a bit of trouble. So it made sense on both fronts, but ultimately, Mike Roberts still upset down the third baseline. He is not very happy, still just blowing off some steam. But
now it looks like he's yelling at somebody that might be a league official. Maybe it's one of the Cotuit employees. He was yelling at a photographer. He was yelling at the umpires. Now he's yelling at somebody else, and he's got his team rallied around. He is furious, which, to be fair, Cotuit's already clinched a playoff spot. They won last night and locked up one of the 4 spots in the West Division, but I guess Roberts really, really wanted this win tonight.
Well, and they're atop the Western Division for a reason. Falmouth and Wareham fighting it out for the second-place spot right now. So if Cotuit could get another win and extend their lead to perhaps 4 points by the end of the night, that goes a long way. But for Hyannis, a team that's just trying to hang on and stay alive for a playoff spot, I mean, they're a long way out, but this win certainly helps them out at least a little bit. And it's getting by the skin of their teeth tonight here at Lowell Park.
Let's segue things, Brendan. Let's forget about Mike Roberts and Cotuit for a minute. Let's talk about the team that actually won the game. So, of course, the game will be reverted back to 8 innings. Hyannis, as a result, will win 6-2. And just the offense really got clicking today, but we've seen the offense click the last couple days. I mean, to be fair, in this 3-game stretch with Cotuit, they scored 6 runs in Game 1 back on Wednesday here at Lowell Park. They scored 5 runs last night. They scored 6 again tonight. The difference, though, was the pitching really held up. Glenn Albanese, a really, really nice start, probably put together his best start of the summer.
And the pitching was phenomenal, top to bottom, throughout the 3 arms that Gassman turned to out of the bullpen tonight, including Kyle Murphy and Connor Ash. But Albanese, you mentioned it, maybe his best start of the summer, or if not, definitely right up there. 4 2/3 innings, 4 hits, only 2 runs. It didn't walk anybody. That's the key. Hyannis gave up a lot of free passes last night, 9 to be exact. So they held this lineup, Cotuit, the Cavaliers, in check tonight.
And then let's segue to the guys who came in after Connor Ash. 3 2/3 scoreless innings out of relief from Kyle Murphy and Connor Ash. Those guys really held it down in a game that Hyannis really needed to win if they wanted to try to keep themselves in somewhat of a contention for a playoff spot.
And they were really good when called upon tonight. And Murphy especially came out of the bullpen, located his fastball well, went out for multiple innings, and stayed strong throughout his whole appearance. Connor Ash followed him. Wasn't really expected for Ash to come out of the bullpen tonight, but Chad Gassman not messing around. And before that pitching change that would have kept this game going, we don't know who was going to come out of the bullpen after Ash, but for the two guys that did come on, they pitched very well when necessary.
So the final score one more time tonight. Hyannis takes the contest 6-2 over the hometown Kettleers. They pick up a win in the Patriot Cup Series as it ends in a 5-1 Cotuit victory over the course of 6 games. But Hyannis gets the last laugh, picking up game number 6 by a score of 6-2 here at Lowell Park. The Harbor Hawks move to 7-25-1 on the summer, with Cotuit dropping to 17-14-3, although they've, of course, already clinched a playoff spot. Final lines for each squad. Harbor Hawks, the winning team tonight, 6 runs on 9 hits, 1 error. They leave 9 left on base. For Cotuit, 2 runs on 9 hits, 1 error. They leave 9 left on base. So fairly similar final stat lines from the final 2 teams. Just Hyannis capitalizing more with runners in scoring position. And as a result, they pick up the 6-2 victory. Kyle Murphy gets the win for Hyannis tonight, with Christopher Holcomb picking up the loss. And Connor Ash, according to the final box score, will be credited with the save. This game is in final tonight, went 3 hours and 2 minutes, ended at 8:08 p.m. with just over 1,000 people in attendance at beautiful Lowell Park. But as the Harbor Hawks traveled out west, they picked up the win, their 7th of the season, and once again, their first win of the season over the Cotuit Ball Club. That'll do it for us here tonight. Hyannis will be off tomorrow for the All-Star game. Tyler Madison, Jared DeSantolo, and Hunter Goodman will all be taking part. Hunter Goodman as well in the Home Run Derby. But after the day off for most of the league tomorrow, Hyannis will be back in action at McKeon Park on Monday night. They're set to take part in a makeup game with the Orleans Firebirds. That'll be set for 6 o'clock p.m. on Monday, July the 22nd. But until then, for Brendan Howe, I'm Lyle Goldstein. We thank you so much for tuning in tonight, and we'll talk to you Monday from McKeon Park.